would like so much Sexton-Swansig.
Is this when I should say that sex is sex in Norwegian as well?
Yes, this is the appropriate time to say that. Alright, I think I've got everyone here. I've got a Jacob, I've got a Derek, I've got Thomas, I've got Guaco, I've got Sam, I've got Alex, I've got Malachi.
Malachi.
That's everybody. Thomas, are you with me? See, Thomas wasn't actually with me. Jacob, are you with me?
Yes.
Oh no!
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I
There
can
we
hear
go.
Jacob
Yeah.
now, and I saw that Thomas unmuted himself. Thomas?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I was just
So,
grabbing something.
that's fine. Episode 24 of Everyone Loves Raiken. Last time you survived a death-defying battle where you literally defied a minion of a god of undeath.
Well,
So
almost
undeath
everything
defying.
survived.
Again.
Larabendis' mind didn't survive.
You went up against the Lich Minuet Kuvara, who is fighting to avenge the memory of her fallen love, the former champion of Cord, Victoria Bicky Somerset. And she proved to be a most difficult foe for the party to defeat, as she specialized in turning the party against itself, mind-controlling several people throughout the course of the fight to fight for her. But ultimately, the party was successful, as Yukikaze enchanted his blades with his fire and ice breath and slew the Lich. She fell to the ground and pleaded that he protect the party before she began to burn away. The last things you hear, Malachi, as she burns to ash and crumbles, is, "I'm sorry, Bicky. I did everything in my power, and I was so close." And her voice seems to be carried away on an unseen, unfelt wind, as the body before you disintegrates into a fine dust, and loses all semblance of human form. You are now within this dark chamber with a large, metal-looking chair to the north. That is cushioned in red. Next to the pile of ash that remains after you destroyed Minuet's body, there is the thick tome from which she was casting spells, the one that glowed with an ominous purple light whenever she began to chant. And Larabendis, who is not seeming altogether in his senses, is climbing on the cushioned chair and scrabbling at the wall above it. The light from the artifact he carries, ash, dances around the room.
What happened while I was out?
Well, we killed the Lich. Picked me back up. Had to climb all the glue to do it. Yeah.
I believe that was your
Disgusting. You were the one attacking us.
It's not like I had much of a choice.
Raiken's just gonna be like, why is it always fireball?
Because it's the
Burn
best.
everybody.
Suck it.
That's literally everything. Every time I go down, it's usually a fireball from my own team.
I think you
Sorry.
fireballed us more than enemies at this point.
Mages are rare. So if you're gonna get fireballed by anyone, it's most likely gonna be someone from your side of the field.
Jebel, are you okay?
A little bit worse for wear, but I'm standing. Can I approach Laramendis?
You may. You get to your feet and make your way injuredly across the room. I will remind you that you are in a dark chamber in what is the boss's lair. There are unknown tricks and traps in here, and everyone is very hurt. So, if you were gonna heal, now is the time to do it.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just going to say, everyone, group up.
You can
I
let
will
me
do
go
my
now.
best to comply.
Alright.
Dad, you can let me go.
Laramendis, group up!
Is anyone?
I jump.
Um,
Not towards anyone, I just jump.
Like, straight up and down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you gonna let me go?
Yes, Raiken will finally put you down.
What happened to
Oh, it's
him?
about time.
Thank you.
I'm not sure. Could anybody answer that? Because I was knocked out.
I believe you happened to him.
Everyone has gathered up, Jebel.
I can't do whatever that is.
Give me a second. I want to look at everyone and just see who's not terribly injured.
Me.
Just Leah.
I think. Let me double check.
I got all dried out. Throw my essence away.
Precious bodily fluids.
I need
Oh,
those.
okay. No, I am a little bit hurt.
But not a lot, just a little bit.
Bloody or not bloody?
Yeah,
Very
who's
close
bloodied?
to it, I think. Let me.
So close to bloody.
Buddy.
All of my music bots are broken.
No.
That one broke too.
So who's bloodied? I'm bloodied.
I'm mega bloodied.
Everyone but Leah. And maybe, Laramendis. But I don't think we'll be able to tell either way because smoke.
I guess it's a question for the GM. Can they see me well enough to determine my physical well-being?
You are very well illuminated by your artifact.
He doesn't look so good.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Really pissed off right now.
It's...
Oh wait, no, is that... What's her face? On the...
Minuet that's on the up above Cyrus.
Alright. I was looking, I was like, there are not 8 people in our party? have I lost track of someone?
1, 2, 3, 4. What?
Now she's upside down.
Alright.
That body there doesn't even look like a body. It looks like a pile of fine black ash, and next to it is a ash smeared tome about 4 inches thick.
Okay. So I'm going to cast this on everyone but Leah. So this is not. No.
What are you casting?
It's Mass Cure Wounds.
Okay, level.
So that's 5th level.
Okay.
That is 14 hit points. Everyone gets back. Except for Leah.
Alright.
Except for Leah.
I can only hit 6 people with it.
Expend your spell slots. Everybody regains 14 hit points except for Leah.
And let me just see. Then I cast. Oh, well, it worked out the same. I cast Cure Wounds at the 2nd level, and Leah gets 14 hit points as well.
Okay, Leah, you get 14 hit points now. I need to do an internet search on why all the bots are broken tonight.
I'm gonna spend a minute or so converting my level spell slots into higher ones.
How is everyone else looking? Like, are people looking a lot better? Anyone else? A bit
I'm
down?
still looking bloody as all heck.
I think a few of us are.
I'm no longer bloody.
I'm looking about twice as good as I was before. Which is not good.
So Raiken is going to go around and he's going to use lay on hands for each person
Oh,
and give.
guys, you gotta be also thinking about getting the heck out of here. Just because the lich is gone, does that mean all the zombies are gone?
And we can't leave.
Right
we have to
now we're
destroy that
safe.
thing.
No, we're not safe.
Well, just as long as we stay around here. Yes, there's traps. But
We are not
can move
currently
around
being
here.
attacked.
I'd save a couple in reserve for things. Don't blow everything at once.
Well, after I touch everyone, I still have 5 lay on hands left for in case
Hold
people
on.
go down.
Okay,
I
well,
cast Cure Wounds at 4th level on Derek. On Cyrus. He gets
Alright,
another 24 hit points.
awesome.
Okay.
Laramenda's heads directly southeast.
Okay, how far?
Somebody stop him.
Until he is stopped.
That's west.
Alright, you stepped in the ashes.
That was west.
That's west.
Sorry. Give me that one! It's not even on top! You're on top and it won't let me select you! Boop. 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 Boop.
Somebody get a hold of him.
Alright, so
Diamondus, where are you going?
I heard Raiken laying on hands.
I was.
Alright, so
Anyone have felt about everybody in the party?
so before we deal with Laramendos running off, I want to know who you're using lay on hands on how many points.
I was going to give everyone 5 points.
Alright.
Okay, including yourself or not?
Including myself.
Alright, then I believe that's 35 hit points out of your pool you should
Yes.
lose. Everybody gain 5 additional hit points as Raiken goes around and touches everybody.
And in the process, I would have probably stopped Laramendos.
I think you'd have to go after him, so we'll say he, like, got to this torch.
Okay. God damn, if I step on anything, Laramendos.
Or smoke cloud is running away. Looks like a rampage tornado.
Nice.
I squint at Raiken, and then like lean in close, and whisper.
You
And
feel
then
that
nod
in your
knowingly.
ear.
I don't know what he just said, but I don't think this is truly Laramendos.
Did anyone see what happened?
Well, it shot him with something, and now he's a monkey.
What did he say?
Gather.
He said.
That's is that? Well, I don't speak Elvish. Is that?
I look around in a panic as he says that loud.
Rocky gets a firmer grip on it to make sure he doesn't run away.
Are you going to bring him back to the party, or just stand there with him?
Yeah, no, Raiken's gonna bring him back to the party because
Okay.
he doesn't want to be too far away.
I guess. Are you going to fight this grapple there, Laramendus?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Jibble, I'm pretty sure that wasn't brought up in my lessons.
So,
Maybe it's advanced Elvish.
Can I like roll Arcana or something to try and identify like what spell it is? Because I will be assuming it's a spell if the Lich hit him with something.
Sure, roll Arcana.
All right. Just a second. Let me grab a dice tray. Forgot. Okay, rolled fairly decent. Let's see what the total is. 21.
Cool. It's a powerful enchantment spell. Your father told you never to fuck with enchantment wizards. They're fucked up.
Did I
Just stay the hell away. There's nothing good can come from it.
Did I get anything more specific?
Mind control.
Great. Do I have any clue whether or not it'd be possible to dispel it?
Might be, if it's magic.
always try.
You know that dispel magic can be used against spells that are being concentrated on, or ones that have a duration, ongoing effect. So if there is a continuous source of magic, you know that you can break that with dispel magic.
Okay.
So, maybe.
Alright, then we're gonna give this a try. See if I
Alright.
can get my wizard back.
Bend
While
your
he's doing that,
Mhm.
I'm gonna use Cure Wounds on myself, level 1.
Alright, spend your spell slots.
Let's see.
Oh, fuck.
I'm guessing it went really well.
Yeah, the greatest.
You got a 1.
One less than one more than me.
You got a 2.
Yep.
Alright. I'm converting up to a 1/5 level spell slot to try and go for broke here.
I am unbelievably pissed off that I don't have music right now.
So, 5th level spell magic. Do I need to roll?
Do you need to roll for a 5th level dispel magic? Yeah, roll.
Oh boy.
There's also a shimmer over me, and it looks like, you know, mage armor is gone now.
Right, baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
You see like cracks in the air form all around me, and there's just a little like shattering of it, and it just.
How does Laramendus react to that?
Is Raiken still holding him?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, he pulls against Raiken, not hard, but like he seems very concerned by this like shattering of magic.
You successfully dispelled a spell, Cyrus.
And then he dead weights.
So you're like holding him by the upper arm, and he's slumped completely as far as he can get to the floor. It's not all the way on his butt because you're so tall, but like you're just like holding him up by the one arm, and his legs have totally crumpled beneath him.
Raiken
Okay.
just looks
So-
at him, back at the party, at him.
I rolled well. I got a 20.
Okay. Yeah, that happens.
Does he start having any semblance of Laramendus back?
Laramendus, what do you say to all this?
He burps.
Maybe.
I don't think it worked.
Laramindus, could
It's a
you
very impressive burp.
try saying something?
Raiken shakes him a little bit, not just gently.
Don't need no shaking babies. Leave him alone.
I move to hide behind Raiken, but like not close to him because he's been shaking me.
It was gently. So that didn't work.
Nope.
I aim my head so that, like, in the hopes that the light circling around me is gonna hit him. And it just keeps moving out of the way, and it's unfortunate.
Well,
Wait,
if it
what
was
exactly
possible
happened?
to dispel, that would have done it. We need something else.
Wait, what?
Ash,
What?
are you still with us?
Or did you address Ash?
Yeah.
The ball floating around Laraminda's head stops in midair suddenly and looks down at you and says, yes, I am still here.
Do you have any idea what happened to your wizard?
I do.
Can
How to
you
fix
tell
it?
us?
I can.
Well, this is
Stop
going
asking
swimmingly.
questions.
Will you please tell us?
Yes, the lich you fought was clearly an enchantment wizard of very high level. It seems to me that she has cast the Feeble Mind spell on my scholar.
I have a question.
For me or for Ash?
For you,
Okay.
because Feel Mind is a druid spell, but it's at much higher level than I'd have access to now.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, like, would I have knowledge of spells that I don't have access to yet?
Usually in divine casting, you do, because they're on your spell list.
Okay. So I recognize.
Yes, you recognize, if it's on the druid spell list, then you do recognize it as something that you will one day be able to cast.
And I know the ins and outs of the spell, like.
Not yet. You're aware of it. You know that it's a powerful enchantment spell that makes people like Laramendus, and you're aware that there is a way to cure it.
But I don't know what that way is.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
In any event, the Ion Stone continues. Says, I know of several ways that the adverse effects of the spell could be removed. Someone could cast the Wish spell on the scholar. Or someone could use the Heal spell, if anyone knows it. The
I
last...
look at the druid.
It is a 6th level spell. It may be still out of his reach. However, what is probably not out of your druid's reach... Actually, does Ash? Yeah. Would be Greater Restoration, which I know will also work.
Oh, I have that. And I have it prepared.
Excellent.
But I've already cast 2 spells.
Most unexcellent.
So,
At least we'll be able to fix it once you get your spells back.
Yeah. I had to heal
Yeah,
everyone.
Until then.
so the question is, are we going to remove the cloak from him? Or do we want to leave it on him to protect him? Or does it actually still hurt him, doesn't it? Or
Well,
poisons?
can we remove the cloak? Because is it like one of all the rest
We
of
have
us
to cast
where we
remove
remove
curse,
it?
which we don't really have time for right now.
Then I would recommend, like, tying a rope to him to keep him with us.
Yeah, times where I can.
I'm going to pick up
Tie him onto my
the,
back.
tome from next to what used to be the body of the lich.
Okay, you pick up the tome. It is about 4 inches thick, maybe thicker. It is made of a durable leather that has been dyed a bluish purple. and it is scrolled across in common, which has been leafed in gold. And it says in the gold leaf, property of Minuet Kavara. If found, please return.
Destroy it.
No, this is useful.
Hold on to it. Don't read it.
Exactly.
Are you sure that's not the thing that she put her soul into?
Am I certain? No, but this is a wizard's spell book. 'Cause
I'm
that's
thinking.
what she is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing Laramentis will like that once he's no longer, feeble-minded.
Bare minimum, if she comes back, according to what Laramentis has said earlier in this temple, it would at least keep her from changing her spells, unless she has a backup somewhere, which it wouldn't surprise me if she did, but this gives us a fighting chance if we have to come back here.
Can we burn it?
I'd really rather not.
Why not? It's evil.
It's not evil.
It's full of evil spells.
No, it's full of spells. Spells are not evil or good one way or the other. It is how they are used.
Imagine
Doesn't
the
matter, I expect.
reward that the Temple of Ion will give us for bringing all of these Vecna secrets to light.
Should we?
Absolutely. My
Are
God.
we gonna tie Laramentis to my back?
Yes.
Are you going to turn him into C-3PO from...
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Laramentis goes to start doing burpees and does like one and then falls on the ground in exhaustion.
So, since the party seems a
Doing
little
what?
divided on what to do with the book, I'm putting it in my bag as opposed to the bag of holding.
Oh great,
don't
I'm
put
gonna
it in
have
the
to
bag
draw
of
He,
this.
like, drops down, does a push-up, and as he's pushing himself back up, he throws himself into the air and lands on his feet, and then collapses, rubbing his arms.
Get him,
Did you
Chewie.
read my PM, Tristan?
Wait, is that what a burpee is?
Did I not answer it? Oh, that.
So, is everyone's health at a management level? Whoever's low, you feel comfortable. You feel strong.
I mean, Raiken's not very comfortable, but he'll manage.
Ash,
Yes, Cyrus?
did you see what happened to the magic here?
What happened to it? It seems like it dissipated when the Lich was defeated.
Just disappeared? Like, could you give me some more details?
I was rather concerned with my scholar at the time, but it's likely that it just disappeared. Did you see something different?
I was unconscious. What about any of you? Did you see anything?
Like when she died, a light came out of her and went through the wall
Where exactly?
towards the throne. But it was behind the throne where Laramentis was pawing at the wall. Maybe we should go check out that temple that we found that didn't have anything in it, because I think that maybe now that her spell's broken, her phylactery is probably in there. That's what I
It's
think.
also possible that it's just inside that wall.
And what about those doors over
Knock
there?
the wall down. I think it's probably behind the
wouldn't-
wall.
I wouldn't mind if someone could take a good swing or two at it. Because I would expect that the power that's dissipated wants to return to its source. Which would be the Lich. But since they are currently, non-existent, the only thing left would be the Phylactery.
I still have my thunder gun.
You do.
I can shoot the wall.
You could.
If you're doing that, I need to back up.
I mean, everyone should back up. I have to go pick it up, and
So you're letting go of Laraminus?
I'm gonna ask Yukikaze to hold on to Laramentis.
Just hand them like a
Just give him a leash.
puppy.
Here.
Yeah, just toss him to him. Take this.
A catch.
Keep him safe.
There's a gasp, and I begin unspooling the rope box, just continuously. I'm very fixated on this thing.
So
Oh my.
Great.
So yeah, I'm just
Well,
sitting on the ground and
At
just
least I'll keep him
you hear the
occupied
sound
until
of
this
rope.
thing goes off.
I'll keep
Make
my
sure you have a good grip. I expect this noise will scare him.
Alright, you recollect the thunder gun.
Okay, I have to reload it.
Yes, you begin to reload it, and you notice that its firing mechanism is damaged
Oh, come on!
because you dropped it on the ground after being told it had a delicate mechanism.
Oh, come on! Who says I just dropped it on the ground?
You did. You declared dropping it.
That doesn't mean I slammed it.
That's
You're in
what
the middle of
dropping
combat.
means.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Sure.
Raiken verbalizing all this? Like, is he?
I don't
I
know.
mean, he
Fine,
could be
okay.
saying, come on, when he sees the damaged mechanism.
What's wrong?
The mechanism's damaged. I need to get it fixed.
Let me see if I can do something.
I'll take a look at it.
I want to see if Mindine might be able to help him out.
Both of you come over as he's like holding his wounded baby across his arms.
So this room is different now, right after the lich died. You mentioned that, right?
A what?
That the room is different, like it changed after she died.
Yes. So
Yeah.
like the whole garden aspect and everything is gone. The stone is still there. So like the columns that are the things that were statues in the illusion, those gray squares, they became full floor to ceiling 10-foot thick columns with torches on them lit. The 8-foot tall walls shrank down to be 6-foot tall, 5-foot tall walls, and this 4-foot walled section in the middle stayed that, but the throat went away. The fleshy trap that was eating Jebel disappeared.
So what is it now?
It's just stone. Everything in here is now like that same sand color.
Yeah, but I mean that pathway, is it just a pathway, an empty pathway?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna open a bag of holding and look for the flower I picked.
Okay. Is there a reason that it would not be there?
Yeah, I picked it in the illusion room, like in one of the other rooms.
Ah, right. It's that flower. Sorry, I thought you meant one of the flowers that you took from the desert tribe. No, you do not find it.
Jebel is the only one close to me. I believe that the illusion is broken.
Yeah.
Like not
Looks
just
that
in
way.
not just in this room, but everywhere.
I'm going to check in my backpack for the sculpture that I had.
The sculpture was... Remind me.
It was a sculpture of something that had that one guy's name on the bottom.
Yeah, the king, or whatever, the last king, the one that I wanted to destroy.
Right.
What was it,
It
horse?
was a wooden knight on a horse with shield and lance.
And it had the name of the last,
Yes. That is still in your bag. Still intact. Looks completely unchanged. Okay.
Devil's just got this massive smile.
So you're going to try mending. Vendar, what were you hoping to accomplish?
I was gonna try to take a look at it, see if I could roll the
Alright, well, Cyrus is announcing that he wants to cast a spell. Are you going to let him do that first?
Yeah, I'll let him do it first.
Okay. Then you cast your mending cantrip, Cyrus. The gold-colored mechanism, this very fine, delicate-looking piece of metal, bends back into its original shape, and it looks whole again.
I believe that fixed it. However, I'm not certain, so use it at your own risk.
Don't drop it again.
Also that.
Yes. Very well. If everyone can stand away, I
I'm
will.
gonna take cover behind the, pillar to the south, west.
I'm gonna hide behind the pathway wall.
I'm hiding behind a bunch of rope that is now just completely around me.
And Yukikaze.
Where do I go?
Cyrus.
AH-14.
You're going to AH-14.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. You move. Where are the others going? Hello? Can I be heard?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I'm staying where I am.
You're staying where you are. Is Leah going to move?
Yeah, behind the wall, but on the opposite side of it.
Okay.
Japanese.
And
there.
Cyrus, you had moved here initially. Are you going to move back? Cyrus?
He left, he said.
Yeah,
They were
it's like
being
BRB.
pet.
Okay, Vendar, where are you going now that he's got a working gun again?
I'll just go stand over by Jebel.
Just like right next to him.
Hey, buddy.
Alright. You
This is gonna be loud, isn't it?
Yeah, Raiken's gonna set her up to where nobody else is gonna get hit by the shockwave, and I'm not gonna get hit by.
Yeah, you understand that your shockwave looks like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold my ears. And close my
So-
eyes.
Yeah, I reload the weapon now that it's fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll aim at the wall,
Okay.
take a shot.
Alright. It takes you a few moments to reload the weapon. It requires a lot of doing to get the powder and shot inside it. You shoulder the weapon, and you take aim at the wall, bracing yourself momentarily before squeezing the trigger. There is a tremendous explosion, and you all see the air around him ripple. This pile of dust next to him literally shifts and blows further away in a cascading scatter. Your shot impacts the wall, and you see a peppering as metal shards, these small pellets, break away chips of stone all over this area, and the place is scorched with fire. Several small fragments of stone clatter to the ground, bouncing off of the chair, and you can see that there are myriad tiny holes round in the wall where you fired.
I'd like to try and go up and look through one of the holes if I can.
Sure. You
Ah, fuck! I failed my strength check, by the way.
you get knocked on your ass.
And I gotta
And you
take damage.
yes, you take damage.
3 thunder damage.
I think it's bludgeoning damage, not thunder damage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I believe you take 1d6 non-magical bludgeoning damage, which I think Heavy Armor Master cancels.
Okay, I wasn't exactly sure because I was just looking at all the damage types.
Hold
I think
on.
Heavy Armor Master
And it
cancels 3 of
says
it.
1d6 thunder to all creatures in a close burst 1.
Right, which doesn't include you. A close burst doesn't include you.
Okay.
It does 1d6 thunder damage to all creatures in a close burst 1, at save for half, and then it's a DC 15 strength save or take 1d6 bludgeoning damage and fall prone.
Okay.
So, Heavy Armor Master protects you from up to 3 points of non-magical damage, which is all of it. So you take 0 damage, but you still get knocked on your ass.
Okay. I need to add to the note then.
Alright, Cyrus, you get up there, and you begin examining the wall very closely. You find that each of the small holes created by the pellets are no more than a few millimeters deep, little divots. This seems like a very superficial wound to the wall. It is not really the proper damage type, not really the proper weapon for this job.
Need like a big old warhammer or something.
Bludgeoning is much better against structures.
I'm gonna wander up to him.
Wonder.
I'm going to attempt to run away from the noise and panic, but get tangled up in the copious amounts of rope that I have now summoned, and then begin struggling against that.
Did Yukikaze actually declare grabbing hold of Laramendus?
I don't know, but I think I'm restrained.
Yeah, no,
by the rope.
You've managed to.
I said I was gonna take care of him, so I was just gonna do what Raiken was
He's
gonna do.
like tangled up and buried in a pile of 328 feet of rope. You don't even know where all that rope came from. I mean, you do, but you don't.
He doesn't.
It's a lot of rope.
Attention.
I'm not exaggerating. It's about 328
I'm gonna, like,
feet.
offer up my hand to him, like, do you want me to help you get out of that?
He is a magician after all.
He's doing a rope trick.
The only thing that you can possibly see of me is a single hand that's like struggling against things, and in the struggle becomes more like
So,
roped.
while those guys are figuring out the wall, I'll help him get untangled.
All right.
No. Don't help him get untangled.
You set to work trying to untangle him from literally hundreds of feet of rope that he's
Cyrus,
dumped on top of himself.
if I treat him nice, he'll probably stay around. He's running around. I want to help him out. He's in a very interesting predicament.
All right, Jebel.
Literally want him out, just cut the rope.
Jebel, what did you want to do now that you're over by Cyrus?
I'm going to ask Cyrus, how does it look?
It's too shallow. Need something to hit with more force and, something bigger than the pellets that thing shoots.
Okay.
More likely it was behind the wall than in the wall, but I'm gonna go check out one of those other doors.
Stand
Still
back.
like to be able to break more than a couple millimeters. I will step back.
Vendar starts heading away. You say stand back. Go.
Earth Elemental.
Earth Elemental.
That'll do.
Have we seen that before?
I think probably have. I think it was one of the first. Actually, no, was it one of the first?
The first one you did was fire,
Yeah.
when we were surrounded
Yeah.
by skeletons.
Yeah, no, but Bruno used Earth Elemental.
Yeah.
I said
Did we
VC,
already
it,
do
not
that?
you have.
That's new to me.
He summons up some magic and suddenly grows to large size, becoming made of stone. What do you do?
I'm going to. Oh, it's a slam attack, I suppose. But I'm going to punch the wall where he was.
I'm going to point something out to you. I want you to look at one of the Earth Elemental's movement features.
Earth Glide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although that does say unworked, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
one of the things.
It's why the Earth Elemental was able to do it in the Beholder's Lair, but you're right. You wouldn't be able to do it here. I'm wrong. My bad. Go ahead. Slam it.
Because actually, no, I did turn into an Earth Elemental before. I attacked Raiken in the mirror. Was it? No, Mirror Raiken or Mirror Yukikaze? I was an Earth Elemental at the time.
I think that you were... I know that you were got downed by Mirror Yukikaze. And I know that Mirror Jebel went Scorpion and just picked up Cyrus and got him zapped to death by Mirror Leah's Witch Bolt.
Yeah,
And
but I turned into
Cyrus's dagger.
I turned into an elemental and grappled Yukikaze,
Yeah.
but he had magic weapons.
Then turned around and killed you and Raiken.
Don't remind me.
My plan was to glide through the stone and try and get away. But then I was like, oh wait, no, it's what you call it?
Yeah.
It's called carved and stuff. So
Right.
I
It's
couldn't
worked
do that.
stone. Alright, so roll your damage. Does your slam do extra damage against structures?
Yeah, it does
double
do
damage.
damage.
Nice.
It is vulnerable to rock.
13 plus 5 is 18, 36.
Alright. Very nice.
36
You ball up one of your stone fists and drive it forward as hard as you can. There is a sickening crack that echoes through the room, and you can see momentarily a split appear across one of your stony knuckles, and then a large chunk of the wall, like a slice of it, just sort of grinds out and crumbles to the floor, you know, bouncing and shattering as it hits the chair beneath you. There's still a complete, like, there's no hole in the wall. You've removed what is effectively a few layers, but you know that you're doing some massive damage, especially by comparison to the Thunder Gun.
But Raiken's still going to, like, on the ground, still be like, I weakened it.
Suck it, Raiken.
Can the Earth Elemental speak?
I translate your Terran to Colin for Raiken's benefit.
Suck it, I weakened it. You're welcome.
I don't think he loses the ability to speak.
I'm not entirely
I think
sure.
he gains the ability to speak Terran.
Is there a limitation that says that they can't speak if the form they're taking can't speak, or do they always just become an animal that can talk now?
Elementally talk.
Can't he just telepath still?
It just says I retain my mental abilities.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I know that, like, you can cast spells if the form that you take on can perform the actions required to cast a spell. But
Yeah.
Elementals can talk.
elementals can
Every
talk.
elemental
They
can talk.
speak their element. And Mastery of Primordial gives you enough understanding of Terran to be able to translate that.
And the other thing is like physical stuff.
Mhm.
The physical
That just
form
replace. Yeah, if
overrides-
their physical stats are better than yours, they just replace it. But you get
What about
another
stuff
slam, I
like-
believe.
I meant stuff like if, like as a gnome, I have dark vision, but if I turn into something that doesn't have dark vision, I lose the dark vision.
Oh, okay, good to know.
So
But
it's
if you
stuff
turn
like
into
that.
something that has blind sight, you gain blind sight. You
Yeah.
get another slam attack, so roll the damage.
Well, that one's not as good. 8 plus 5 is 13, so 26.
26. Alright. You slam your other fist into the wall. An entire section of the carved stones crumbles and falls away. And you can see as you pull your fist out of the crater you've left, that there is one segment behind your hand that is square cut, and there's something inside.
Yes.
Alright.
Also that.
Raiken will get up now.
Can I take it out with my massive...
You reach your massive stony fingers in, and you just can't seem to fit even a single massive finger inside the small hole.
It's gotta put like part of a finger in and then flex the finger, and then
I'm
just...
gonna ask him if there's something there, because I can see him now doing something other than smashing.
And then I'll just turn and just wave Cyrus forward.
You know I
And then
can
kinda-
understand you, right? You can speak.
What? Oh, yeah, yeah.
So he stomps his way out of the way, I take it?
Yep.
Okay. You're able to climb up onto the throne, Cyrus, and peer into... You can see first that the stone is battered and crumbled and shattered all around in this round shape of his stone golem fist. And then there is this rough-edged now, but otherwise square, pocket in the wall. And there is a dim light emanating from inside.
Alright. I'd like to try and cautiously reach in and take out the thing inside.
Alright. You reach your hand inside. It's a little above you, which is why you can see the light but not the object. You reach up. It looks like it's about the right height for a person to
I'm a little bit
If
short for
person.
that.
to reach
I
in.
see Cyrus trying to reach in, but he can't. Can I put my hand out and try to lift him up?
Sure. You can move over and just like take one of your big big earth mover hands and put it under him and lift him the 2.5 feet he needs to be able to get into the hole. His hand
Team
into
half
the hole.
pint.
You find yourself suddenly lifted by the stony hand of Jebel. And now you can reach your hand up and over the lip, and you feel under your fingers as you pat around inside, that there's something squarish and cold and metal. And as you close your fingers around it and begin to drag, you hear the telltale jingling of what sounds like a metal chain dragging on the stone. And as you pull your hand out, you see that the glow comes with it. And it's this pale blue color that seems to be coming out through holes in this squarish, almost coffin-shaped box in your hand. It's about, 4.5 inches long by 2.5 inches wide, and roughly shaped like a sarcophagus. You can actually see draconic sigils on it for death and rebirth.
Alright. Could well, no, there's no way I could... Well, no, I'll just ask anyways. Is there any chance I could roll something to be extra sure that this is the Phylactery? Like anything from...
You can roll Arcana.
Did not roll nearly as well this time. Got a 13.
You've never seen a phylactery before, but if having had the phylactery's function described to you, nothing fits that better than this.
Alright. Can someone try and get Ash/Laramindis over here? I'd like Ash's opinion on this.
You can see him thrashing about, tangled up in hundreds of feet of rope. Somehow there just
cut
seems
the
to be
bloody
more rope.
I can see the phylactery thing. Is it chained to the wall?
No. The chain you can now see is hanging free, swinging next to Cyrus' hand. It almost like this thing was meant to be worn around the neck as a pendant.
Oh, then belay that order.
Well, while I'm holding Cyrus, I'm just gonna walk over to Laramendus and Ash.
Boop. Oops, need to send you to the back.
I'd be willing to bet this is it, but a second opinion never hurt. I'll say, holding this out to Ash.
Ash is looking down at the pile of ropes that is his former scholar, as Yukikaze does his best to try and untangle the infinite knots being created by the wild thrashing of the temporarily deranged. He seems rather distracted.
Jebel, could you put me down?
I'm gonna gently, reassure Larabendus and then pull out my short sword.
Just use this.
Okay.
I'll give you a dagger or something that should be a little shorter and easier to use in these close quarters.
Can I still speak
dagger in
common?
my hands is itty bitty.
Ash.
I'm gonna walk around Laramenda so I can get a look at what they're doing, but I don't want to be too close because he stinks.
So Ash looks around and sees the softly glowing box in your hand, Cyrus, and says, "Is that its phylactery?"
That's my guess. I was hoping you could give me a second opinion.
It certainly seems like the kind of thing one would trap souls within. Can you tell if the glow is coming from the souls inside?
I could cast Detect Magic.
That's a good idea.
Can I speak common? Or am I...
I believe you can, yes.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic. Sadly, not as a ritual because I can't.
Alright, spend a spell slot. You gain the ability to detect magic. And you do. You detect all the magic items around you, and the item in your hand is definitely magic.
And I'm guessing Necromancy?
Necromancy and Abjuration.
And Abjuration. So it's possibly also warded as well, which would make sense.
It probably protects it from being destroyed. If you were to rid it of the abjuration, you would likely be able to destroy it.
So, dispel magic.
Leah, do you by chance...
I can do dispel magic.
Okay, because I only have one spell slot left and I'd rather not take chances.
Yeah, I believe I have 2 spell slots left, so I can try.
I'll hold it out to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna dispel magic though.
Okay. You dispel magic. You place your hand near the object and begin focusing your magic into it. And you can see, Cyrus, this purple lightning arcing from the box to her fingers as she strains against the ward. After several seconds and more straining by her as she casts the spell, there is a sudden sonic boom. Everybody here should make a Constitution saving throw.
Oof. Oof. Mega oof. Okay.
Wait,
Oh.
Lermanus is protected by all the rope. What are you laughing about?
It's not going to protect it from sound.
Do I have advantage from the rope?
I mean, are you prone, buried under the rope?
Yes.
Then it doesn't matter.
I got more prone. I rolled a 1. I actually stand upright.
You're completely confused as you're launched onto your feet by the sudden crack of thunder.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 5.
18 for Yukikaze.
18 for Yukikaze.
17 for me.
Cyrus.
I rolled
Okay.
poorly.
So, I mean, you're still in the hand of the golem, but the golem falls over, knocked over by the shock wave that emits from the box as the ward is broken. You also notice that accompanying the thunder are arcs of lightning, the same color as the ones you saw fighting Leah's hand as she cast a spell, only about the size and brightness of a true bolt of lightning. And you're going to notice that they arc out and directly strike the 4 columns in the room.
Oh no.
Which, for a moment, they just seem to crackle with the energy, and then the ground around you begins to quake and rumble, and the stone of those columns shatters and crumbles, and within you see brightly glowing pillars of pure light. They seem to be contained within glass.
And the place is still rumbling?
The place did rumble and shudder.
But it stopped. Just like it's not still rumbling.
It's not currently rumbling.
Okay.
Now you've got 30 feet on your, detect magic, right?
I'm double checking, but I believe so. Yes, 30 feet.
Okay. This blinds you.
Okay.
Like, you're temporarily blinded by the bright light that emits from this one. Like, the others you can see are glowing and illuminating the room. Everyone can see that these are glowing and illuminating the room. But looking at this one temporarily blinds you. Whatever it is a source of magic, the like of which you have never seen.
Then I'll, I'm crying, just try to cover my eyes. Look away.
I want to get up on my feet.
What is that? Oh, the Earth Elemental's voice is probably a lot deeper. What is that?
Whatever it is, it's strong magic.
After several seconds of facing away from the source and blinking your eyes hard, you finally begin to get a semblance of the shadowy room again. It seems dim and your eyes hurt, but you notice as you face away from the pillar that there's another source of light over here at the throne, for lack of a better word, throne. There are several pouches here that appear to be glowing with magic.
Alright. I guess I'll try opening one. This could be a terrible idea.
Okay.
You're opening Pandora's box?
So you go over, there is like a leather pouch there that is very visibly glowing with magic. And you
what kind?
How do I put this?
Every kind?
Every kind.
Okay. I've only ever heard that once before, and that was with the pillar.
This
Now I'm very nervous.
Every school of magic. And simultaneously, no school of magic.
So something unidentifiable.
And as you tug at the tie around the top of the thing and pull the satchel open, it sits in the palm of your hand, you're suddenly blinded again. Like, whatever's in that pillar that blinded you must be in this bag, because it's equally bright. It causes you to drop the bag. So, everybody here, except for Vendar, who went away, you're going to see Cyrus stumble away from the bright light that is the pillar. Notice this bag on this table area over here. Pick it up and curiously open it and then go, ah! And drop it again. And as it hits the ground, you're going to see a fine silver powder scatter across the ground.
I'm going to walk over to the powder and
Sniff.
what is the word?
Lick it.
No, I'm not
Don't
gonna
eat it.
touch it. I'm
I
just gonna
mean,
look at it. I'm just gonna.
I do that. I begin moving towards the powder.
Oh no.
I'm
And
stopping.
I just want to investigate it. I want to.
You're struggling so hard trying to move like an inchworm across the ground, just completely tangled in this rope.
Yep.
I'm gonna just step on the rope so I can't move.
You get to about here. What are you doing to the powder?
I want to study it. I want to look at it.
Okay.
Can I roll Arcana, maybe?
You may. Vendor.
Welp. Arcana. That is 11.
Okay, well, given Cyrus' reaction, it's very likely magic and very likely powerful magic, but to you, it just looks like somebody took silver coins and a file and just shaved them down into the finest powder ever, and then took all that powder from 1,000 coins and dumped it in this bag.
Well, if this is the Phylactery, we're going to have a problem. Ash, have you seen anything like this before?
Ash looks over from his place next to his scholar, and then you kind of see him roll to one side a little, and then sort of just drift farther away toward you. And he looks it over, and you see him dim, as you've seen him do as he analyzes his memories. And he says, "By Ione.
What is it?
It's pure magic."
They figured out how to give magic physical form?
I didn't know such a thing was possible. If that's truly what this is, we are in the realm of the gods. Beyond even my abilities and knowledge, despite being the creation of the gods. This is magic given physical form.
Is someone pocket sand with magic dust now?
This would be worth a fortune if anybody knew how to do anything with it.
I almost thought it was the cord armor file done.
I'm still trying to inch my way towards it. My tongue is sticking out. Partly in focus, and partly, reaching out to lick it.
Raiken,
Yes.
you feel a pulsing.
Pulsing.
A pulsing, a pulling, a wanting. You feel it pulling at your mind, and as you have gotten to your feet and dusted yourself off from the Thundergun incident, you look over to where the fallen golem is still laying on the ground, just sort of observing things. And you notice that box that Cyrus pulled from the wall is just laying on the ground, forgotten, but open, and it continues to exude a soft blue light.
Alright. I will go to the box and pick it up and look inside.
Okay. As you pick it up, you notice that within it there are several items, but most prominently on top is a long pinkish crystal that seems to have a silver filigreed end that's attached to the chain. The chain which hangs out of the box seems to be attached to this crystal, and the crystal itself is exuding the soft blue light. And as you look closer upon it, you realize that the lightning bolt of cord is displayed at the center of the crystal.
And then I think Raiken would remember Laramendis talking about the jewel when we saw the statue.
You know
earlier.
that he made a big deal about it. It was on the pommel of the sword. He brought Cyrus over and created an illusion of it. It is exactly that jewel.
Is Cyrus? Not Cyrus. Raiken beside me now?
Yes, he would have come to here.
I cut out, so sorry. What just was spoken?
He was asking if you were next to him, and I said yes.
Okay.
And can I see what Raiken is doing?
You know that you can see that he is holding up the box that you just watched get dispelled and explode. And he seems completely enamored of whatever's inside, and it is still exuding that same soft blue light you saw earlier. As you peer over his shoulder, you can see that there is this pink gemstone inside, attached to the silver chain.
So I'll just sit up and turn to Raiken and go, Raiken, what have you found?
It seems to be the jewel that Laramendis was talking about when we were at the statue of Vicky.
Remind
jewel
me.
on her pommel.
Remind me again.
It was a special. I'll show it to him and be like, "It's the special pink jewel that was on Vicky's pommel that they saw in the illusion of the two of them together."
You mean it was on the end of Peacemaker?
Yes. The end of the pommel.
So she chose this as her phylactery.
It's possible. It's glowing. I was going to ask Cyrus if he could tell it all with it now being singled out.
Can I see?
That's why I was calling you over.
That's why I'm asking Tristan.
Just did someone do anything with the powder? I didn't.
You went over and began investigating it, and Ash told you what it was. Nobody's done anything with it. It's still laying on the floor, and Cyrus was still rubbing his eyes. You blink, and again your sight begins to come back. But you know that the powder and those pillars are still there. Do you want to risk being blinded again, or would you like to end the spell?
I need to keep the spell up to tell with the thing, so I'm just gonna try and key my eyes to the floor away from the powder and make my way over to Raiken.
Okay, you move your eyes to the floor and are blinded again because that's where the powder is.
I said away from where the powder is. That's not where it was. I know which side has the powder, which side doesn't.
Yes, this is the powder.
Fine, I can look at the ceiling.
Fine.
There's powder on the ceiling now too.
You feel your way around the golem. You feel your way around the golem.
So I notice if he's touching it.
Yeah, you know that as he made his way over there, he stepped on it. Like, the powder's on the floor. It was on his clothing. Like, it was everywhere.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to just brush it all into...
I wouldn't try putting that in the bag of holding, just to be safe.
Well, I'm going to try to collect as much as I can into the original bag, like the pouch it came from.
Okay. You don't know how much was in there originally, but you're able to get what feels like a decent amount, considering it's a very, very fine powder back in. There's still little sparkles all over the ground and on your hands as you do this. And as you stand up from this labor, which takes you, several minutes of scooping and pushing and trying to get it inside, you stand up and you look over and you see 4 more identical pouches on the table.
Oh, I'm going to pick up those 2. And I'm going to attach all of them to my belt.
Okay.
I will attempt to look at the crystal.
Okay. It's magic. It's powerful magic. It doesn't blind you like the pure magic does, but it's powerful magic. Transmutation, conjuration, abjuration, evocation.
Any
So
necromancy?
many cations.
No.
Alright. There's no necromancy on that, but it has powerful magic of... I list off the ones you just said.
Alright, Raiken will look into the box to see what else is still in there then.
If you could hold out the other items, I'd appreciate it.
He'll
Does
pull
the
each
box-
one out one at a time.
They seem to be small gemstones. There seems to be a small glass vial filled with a brown substance. And something that looks... it's an earring. It's an earring of a dragon with spread wings.
Do any of these look familiar from the wedding vision illusion?
No, none of them looks familiar except the one that he's holding.
Alright.
And as you hold it in your hand, you feel a pulse again, Raiken. Almost like you can sense the will of this object.
Is it a good will or a bad will?
It is an insistent will, and it seems to want to be worn.
It wants to be worn. What would I be able to put it on?
It's a necklace.
Would I be able to put it... Oh, it's a necklace?
Mm-hmm.
I guess since it does have a chain, I guess Raiken will ask Cyrus to step back. Well, he's gonna step back himself because everybody's around him pretty much. And without telling anyone, he's gonna put it on.
What do you think you're doing?
he tells you to step back, and he takes a step out over this way, and then he holds the chain apart in his two hands and throws it over his head.
I will prepare to cast Firebolt if this goes poorly.
You sense a will in your mind as you put it on Raiken. And it says, "Chosen of Cord, do you accept the vows and wish to protect his domain?"
I do.
Know
all my
you,
heart.
with all your heart, know you the cost of such service?
Yes, I know the cost.
Obviously reply.
Okay, I'm going to take that as a no.
If truly your heart belongs to Cord, remove your armor.
Raiken will start to strip off his armor.
Now, none of you is aware of what he's heard, but you did hear him say yes.
Is this happening after I collected all of the powder and the pouches?
Yes.
I will come walk over to him. What are you doing?
I was told to take off my armor.
By whom?
The voice in my head.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know this guy very well. This happened very often.
Question: can I telepath to someone specifically through the telepathic bond?
That would be lovely if the spell was still active.
Is it not?
It is not.
What happened to it?
It has a duration. And
Isn't it like an hour though?
But yeah, we talked for an hour. It shouldn't have been active during the fight.
Oh.
What was active during the fight that shouldn't have been?
Rary's telepathic bond.
Oh.
I don't think we actually really used it.
No, I don't think anyone
So
really
it's,
used it.
But you have all been talking now.
Oh. Well,
Because the spell is no longer active. And if it had been when you dispelled me, I'm pretty sure it would have dispelled the spell. especially since it was a 5th level spell and you used a 5th level dispel.
So I'm gonna point. So I'm gonna try and get Lee's attention. And then I'm gonna point at my boots, and then I'm gonna point at Raiken. I'll make like a spell casting motion.
I begin inching my way in Raiken's direction as subtly as I can. So not at all.
Okay. This voice in your head. What does it sound like?
Remove curse. I don't feel like it's any worse.
It sounds like, I don't know, Tristan, what kind of voice?
Completely monotone and gender neutral.
Okay, it's just a regular voice.
And
That's-
when did it happen?
As soon as I put on the necklace.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Remove curse.
I'm gonna
So,
try.
It has the symbol of cord on it.
are you going to cast Remove Curse?
Well, I'm definitely gonna try, yeah. But
Okay.
I believe it's a touch throw.
She's going
Yep, he's-
to try to cast a spell on you. Raiken, what are you going to do?
It's a touch throw. I had to actually be able to touch you.
Well, I'm kind of like caught up, like
Yeah,
in the
he
middle.
is actually like tangled up in his armor trying to get it off. So you can get him. He can't really evade you. You cast the spell. The glow passes over Raiken's body.
I mean, there is one thing I could have done, but
What would you have done?
I could have used hold person on her, so she couldn't get to me.
Would you like to?
I think.
But
that
but
requires me to
Raiken
hold-
wouldn't, because he would assume that Leah wouldn't do anything bad to him.
Okay.
And also, I
No,
believe it
no.
requires a holy symbol, and then there's also somatic components, and his hands being kind of
It's fine.
occupied.
Alright, so the light flows over you. You still feel this pulse driving you to undress. Or remove your armor, excuse me.
Then Raiken will continue to remove his armor.
Alright.
I reach for a piece of Raiken's armor on the ground.
No, bad Lermundus. Shoot. Does anyone have a newspaper? Or a
what?
squirt bottle?
Why
I
would
can't
have
extend my hand forward though. It's like from the middle of the like rope around me, and it's just the hand. So like I'm like flailing around a bit.
I'm gonna use dancing lights to keep him entertained. Actually, wait, no, I'm not, because that's concentration. I need to detect magic.
I don't know if the printing press has been created yet.
Yeah, I know, but it's a joke. Especially because I'm in May either, so it's not exactly a squirt bottle either.
Yeah, but we had a lot of weird bottles and things like that, so that wouldn't actually not surprise me. Anyway, I'm going to look over at Cyrus and shrug.
Well, I still don't trust this, but it's a better sign than I was expecting.
Raiken will, after he finishes removing his armor, you will hear him say, Balis Whale Neskel Gungnir Tron.
Okay, now it's just speaking gibberish.
Do I know what language that is?
Celestial.
Dang, I don't speak that. I wanted to speak that, but I don't.
Raiken does speak Celestial.
As you say these
Jebel?
words, as he says
No.
these words, a sudden and almost unnatural silence seems to fall over the room, and I'm really hoping this works.
Jebel won't like that one. Gilly likes natural silences.
And after a bare moment of this unnatural hush that falls over the room, a beam of light appears beneath Raiken and extends to the ceiling. Let's see here.
If it doesn't work, you can just send us the link. We can all play it ourselves.
He is now trapped in Moonbeam, and he gets hurt.
And so does Leah, because she's too close.
Somebody, please.
Rhythmbot was playing that prom music forever.
Yeah, and now it doesn't want to play anything.
No. We need awesome music.
Maybe it's the music itself. Maybe it's the link.
I don't know. I'm very upset right now.
Just send us the link and we can just count it down and we'll click it at once.
There we go.
This is nice sounding music, so that's a good sign.
Sure it is.
And as this beam extends up from the ground to the ceiling, engulfing Raiken entirely, you actually see his form lifted momentarily off the ground, and the blinding light seems to make him become... He glimmers in an almost crystalline manner. You are aware that he is naked, but no details are visible.
Oh my god, this is Erza from Fairy Tale Transformation!
Seriously, are you doing like a magical girl transformation right here?
Look up whatever magical girl transformation you feel like looking up, that's what's happening. As he strikes several weird fighting style poses in midair, you see different pieces of armor appearing on him.
I'm gonna shriek and cover my eyes.
You know, boots, gloves, finally a breastplate, and quiss appear. And then, last but not least, he seems to, like, turn to face some unseen screen in front of him, and you see a helmet materialize over his head, and as his eyes open and glow a brilliant orange, a translucent visor materializes in front of that, and you all hear this strange, music from nowhere as it happens.
I love that. That's so great. Vendar, can you even see it? You're all the way down.
All you see is a beam of light. It's like, the fuck?
So right, and I hear the music, I'm like, the fuck's going on over there?
Party time!
That was weird. Okay, there we go. And so, you know, piece by piece, the armor appears on him, ending with the helmet. You all hear this strange music as if from nowhere, and then slowly he's lowered back down to the ground, and the light fades out. And as it fades away, you can see that he is clad in the same armor that you witnessed the champion wearing during the memories, and in her statue. It's colored in, you know, glistening pure whites, stripes of orange and blue. The visor over his face is not made out of metal plate, but instead appears to be made almost out of stained glass. And he has these strange, rabbit ear-like ear coverings that point back over his head like elves' ears. And now I have to actually send you all this.
I
I'm gonna
expect
try
this
to
to look
peek
awesome.
through my fingers to see if it's safe to look.
Yeah, he's...
Raiken just looks at his hands. He's like, "Oh my god, this is awesome."
Welcome to the M808V main battle armor.
That would be awesome.
Can I name you Sheila?
My name is Friday.
Name successfully changed to Sheila.
Yeah, name successful change to Sheila.
Come on. Alright, copy that. And yeah, I don't know why it won't loop, but that's okay. We got the exciting music that I wanted, so I'm happy.
Woo!
Whoop whoop.
In all of this commotion, Lara Mendes is now curled around something. Very
I'm ready to find out
protectively.
what that something is right now.
You notice that there is only one boot that can be seen.
You know what? If it makes him happy, I'm gonna let him keep the boot. I just don't care at this point. I wasn't hired on to babysit a toddler elf. That's also like 300 years old. Sorry, 400.
I think he's 300. Yeah, he's 300.
There you go. That was what I was thinking of with the whole armor.
I mean, yeah, basically. Any magical girl transformation works. So yes, this is what you see happen.
But it's specifically fairy tale.
Yes.
It's his armor. I guess he can pick.
Ugh.
I need this to loop to see if it's what I want. No, it's not what I want. There's so many gifts. I'm so happy. But not quite the one I want. This one will do. Got an
I
armor.
couldn't find a gif of the right one.
I know, it's fine. If you can find just like a YouTube clip of it, that'd work too. But yes,
Yeah, I'll
so
post the video.
Raiken is now standing there in all of the glory of the armor of the champion. I have sent you the stats, Raiken.
You have, and I'm reading all of them.
Alright, now just go and use the final flash or whatever and get this over with.
Whoa.
Out of character, obviously.
I actually think this item might have been created by me in D&D Beyond already. Let me check. Because I can't remember. Maybe. My Humber collection. No, my Humber creations. Oh, Humber Bahamut. Oh, I guess not. I probably didn't create it yet because I didn't want you searching it. Alright, I will create it. But
That is a safe thing to do.
yeah. Then there you have it. Oh, you do notice something on this visor.
A heads-up display?
Is a heads-up display, yes. And at the very top right corner, you see a set of characters that you find you can read. You know Celestial, though, don't you? So, of course, you can read it.
Yes.
That says 14 hours.
14 hours. Does anyone know what might happen in 14 hours?
They might come back? Still haven't dealt with that problem. You might die. That magical suit that apparently exists in that crystal might run out of power. You know, armor comes off.
I think you need to do a deed in that armor within 16 hours, or it disappears. It's my guess, because that's why she was holding it, trying to get it to disappear.
That's true.
As it blinks at you, you see it changes to 13 hours.
Now it's down to 13 hours. It went down a whole hour very quickly.
Must have just been near the end of that one. You can cause it could be right, but that's how much time is left unless something's done to preserve it.
If only we had a repository of knowledge who might know more.
If only.
That was set in character.
As was mine.
If you're referring to me, he seems to stare meaningfully at Jebel. I am an artifact of Ione. I am not privy to the secrets of the artifact of Cord. Though it seems to me, if you are on the time limit that you were given, that this makes sense.
Well,
What are
here's
these
the-
pillars?
Incidentally, Raiken, what does the armor of Cord do? It's for posterity, so be honest.
Okay. I guess what should I do, Tristan? Because there's a lot of them.
either copy paste or get reading.
The
Word
foot
for word.
extends from Laramendos towards the other boot.
I mean, I would just explain each of those in the most, general terms that you can.
Okay, because yeah, I haven't even finished reading, but I can put on the armor and take it off instantaneously from summoning it from the jewel. I have my armor gets stronger. I can target an enemy within 60 feet, and they essentially have to get closer to me and attack me, or they get dealt damage and become stronger than them. And once they
You become stronger than them? Could you
no,
clarify?
I get more armor against them essentially.
Ah,
And then if they go down, then I can choose a different target. I
Similar to that
can do more damage on a single turn if I spend a reaction. I can grapple better. I can essentially infuse my body with lightning to do damage to attackers. I get
so you
stronger.
project a field of lightning around your body?
Like I channel his lightning into my body, like Cord's lightning.
Got it. No touching.
I get stronger. Like strength. Everything that I have, weapon and gear, is immune to rust monsters. I'm immune to thunder damage. And there's this special thing called the climax song that I haven't finished reading yet. I just got to it.
You know, about 2 weeks ago, I remembered a particular armor that was in the works of being made that got mentioned. I was wondering if it was this one. And now I'm pretty sure it is.
I made this armor, years ago.
Yeah,
We were working on this before I joined the campaign, I think.
Yeah, you were
yeah,
helping me with the
I'm
balance.
aware.
Okay.
It was talked about after a Shadowrun game, I think. The same as that would have
Okay,
joined the
this-
campaign.
This climax song is I can't move or take any actions for 2 turns. I have to recite an incantation, and then the power is released, and a dome of light 100 feet across projects out from me, and all enemies within 50 feet must make a save or they suffer 100 points of lightning and thunder damage. And creatures are reduced to dust if they reduced to 0. Any damage beyond their hit points done by this attack apply their armor, weapons, and other objects unless it bears the artifact tag. Ground is visibly scarred by 100-foot diameter circle. That's it.
So, when you say 100 points of lightning and thunder damage, is 100 points of lightning damage, 100 points of thunder damage, or 100 points of lightning and thunder damage?
It says 100 points of lightning and thunder damage.
Guess that's more of a question for Tristan then.
Yeah, it's probably like the fire ice thing that Yukikazu does.
It's dual element damage.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
set of
so-
damage, two elemental tags.
So that way, if someone's immune to one damage, they might not be immune to the other.
Right. It's exactly like the dual element that Armor Bahamut does.
Alright, well... Looks like we need to earn some glory somewhere. In the middle of a desert. Rough.
I do have one question, Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming, like, with this, if, like, because it takes 2 turns, if I get hit, I'm assuming I have to roll a concentration, or does it just automatically have to restart it then?
If you take damage during what?
Like, if I get hit, because it takes 2 turns.
Oh, you're uninterruptible.
Okay.
That last one sounds particularly powerful. Is there any
Yeah,
one side?
I feel like there's a reason it's called Climax Dawn.
It's the best part of the fight. It's the climax.
No, I think there's a different reason it's called the Climax Dawn. I'm really worried about that.
Yeah, I totally don't.
The opening theme starts playing, and you're just like, fuck.
Because now it's a shonen.
I posted in D&D, and it's the perfect video for Raiken's transformation. Fair for it.
Okay, why am I getting scrambly sounds? Ooh, I have bad connection for unknown reasons.
Me too. It might be the server.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to quickly move the server.
You can do that.
Yep. And
Pick
that...
it up, drop it down someplace.
Wait, there we go.
Yep, I'm good.
Alright.
Me.
Oh god. Guaca.
Well, I'm still in the red.
I mean, I
Yeah, I'm still in the red.
I moved it to US Central.
So that should be closer
I'm
for
also,
Oh,
I'm
there it
also
goes.
still, yeah, I'm also still in the red, but I hear
And
red,
I'm
so
green.
fine.
I'm in the green.
Oh, there I'm green.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. You got it.
Yep.
We haven't watched XV yet, though.
We have not. We need to.
Yes, we do.
Also, AXV.
Okay.
Before XV?
Oh,
Back to
Guaco.
business.
That's
So-
ridiculous.
It is. It is perfect.
Where? I want to examine the box that exploded when I spelled it.
Okay. It is a small metal box with a hinge that looks like a sarcophagus.
More specifically, I want to see if it still has necromancy on it.
You already did that. It does not.
I didn't recall her doing that. I knew I did that with the contents. I just didn't remember if I did it with that.
1, 2, 3, 4,
All right.
5,
Well,
6, 7.
I somehow doubt my dispel magic would have dispelled the phylactery. So there's a chance that any of these items, including that artifact, might be the phylactery. However, I
Oh,
find
that
the
would be sneaky.
last one being it quite unlikely.
What are these pillars anyway?
I would guess pure magic as well. Ash, would you care to take a look?
You're showing him the pouches?
Pillars.
The pillars.
The pillars. Yes, the Ash looks at the pillar and says, "It is undergoing and as he says this, the whole place tremors once again. And as it tremors hard, you find that you have to duck low to brace yourself from being knocked down, and you see a fine crack spider out on one of the glass tubes.
Uh-oh.
Okay, something tells me it didn't like us undoing the aberration, and it's going to try and break the place down on top of our heads.
I don't think there's anything about this that wants to do anything. I think that the machine was damaged by the release of energy when you dispelled the magic.
Close enough. Same end goal.
You imply there's a goal. It's an inanimate object.
I don't mean from the object, from the person.
Creator of the object.
So,
Says the
what you're
floating
saying is we
stone.
need to get out of here. There's currently 3 doors that I know of.
Ash bobs in the air a moment, just says, "Yes, that's advisable."
I start making siren noises.
At this point, like, you hear a ka-chuk, and Vendar comes back out of this door.
Vendar, did you find anything down there?
I found some minor valuables and some books that don't seem very valuable, so...
Why are Bendis to be very disappointed in you?
Minor
Anyway.
valuables. It's
Right now it's just making weird noises and playing on his lips.
Alright.
Well, Vendar, I have armor.
Can see that. Is
We
that
got
what
what we
happened
came
with
for.
that?
The place tremors again, and another one, this one here, begins to spider and crack, and you see powerful light leaking
get out of
out
there.
from inside. And as it drips to the floor, you actually see the stone at the base scorch and then vanish.
Okay, we need to move.
Oh, we
now.
gotta move.
That doesn't seem good.
Back to where we came. Go, move. Now, I'm moving.
Yeah,
But those doors over there.
I don't
Doesn't
want to
matter,
ri- I don't
time to
wanna risk
go.
it. We know that door leads up, and we need to go up.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you all roll me 3 dexterity saving throws and 3 constitution saving throws. You're traveling
and
as a
while we're
group.
going, I'll say if things get bad, we could try going out through the holes the bullets made.
Well, that's not a good
Bullets,
first
or
roll.
whatever how you pronounce that.
Bullets.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, does he mean is this some sort of snide remark about Raiken's shotgun? So is this 3 dex, 3 con?
3 dex, 3 con.
Jesus.
I
that
assume we
was
get
a
right
terrible
to the
dex.
bonus.
Yes, you get Raiken's bonus because you can travel as a group. I need Yukikaze to make 3 additional con checks. Since he's...
What's Raiken's bonus again?
3.
Three. Does the armor make it any better for any reason?
No.
very upset that all of the music bots are not working right now. And the other ones that
Don't worry, Tristan. It's still awesome.
Oh my god. Oh wait. Crap. I can do the math later. I just want to remember. Damn it! What the hell is up with these freaking threes? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1.
Oh my god, I keep rolling very crap as well.
And the last one.
Look at that awful roll. I mean, I got one good in there.
I think a bit better than me for the most part. Well, for
Some weirdly average rolls though. I mean, 12, 17, 10, 12, 10. Crazy.
Well, I beasted 2 of the con rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking Vendar essentially beasted almost everything.
I got 3 19s and a 20.
I got a 30.
Got 2 30s.
I got 2 30s on my dexes.
my 28 was max.
Was max.
30 is one short of max for me.
Yeah, the elementals have very good
That's,
terrible decks.
I
Okay,
cannot get this
still
done.
And yet he still basically rolled better than me.
With Raiken's help, my dexterity could only go to 26.
With Raiken's help, I have a con save of plus 11. It's kind of awesome.
The dex save plus 11 with Raiken.
Well, I'm a warlock. Wisdom and charisma is what I have proficiency in. So.
My dex with my save is plus 2.
So it looks like Yukikaze is falling behind pretty quickly as
No, those are the numbers. I entered those one by one because it's just so I didn't forget them. And that's what my modifiers for the saving. Oh, I forgot to add my modifier. The ones before were the base number with Raikens.
Also, if I see him falling behind, I'd like to cast haste on him.
So those are my numbers. Final.
Okay. Then it looks to me as you... Ooh, I think the one who's going to need it is actually Jebel.
Alright, well, whoever's falling behind, I want to try and cast haste on.
You begin dashing back through the rooms through which you passed to get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 puts you into the hallway. The whole time you can feel the tremors getting stronger, and as you run across the last large room before the hallway, you see the wall to the north, which is room 21. Boop, 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 boop. Boom. This one. Where when you came through here before, there was an illusion of the market street. There's no illusion in any of the rooms. You see only torch-lit stone rooms with old pieces of art and statuary. There are skeletons and armor scattered, pushed into the corners. The place is terrifyingly dissimilar, even to some often strange and confusing illusions that you saw. It looks like a tomb, a monument to death and loss. But as you pass into this room and move toward the door, you see the north wall suddenly vaporize, and beyond is that blinding white light again, expanding as a sphere toward you.
Oh, shit.
You dive through the door, putting you out into hallway, which is 5. and already this is gone, and the light is expanding towards you. You run down the hallway.
I'll remember this later.
You run down the hallway to escape it. You know you have options here.
Oh god, we're locked in.
I think yeah, that's what the monster is for. I
hope we can get the card out.
No, card's screwed, but
which of these doors do you take?
I personally, I'm gonna deal with the laser and just go straight.
Okay. Cyrus goes straight through. Are the rest following him?
I'm following whoever was, like, in charge of me at the time.
Yeah, that's Yukikaze.
I'll go through. I'll follow
okay.
Cyrus, yeah.
Does anybody not want to go through this door? You know that the laser eye is on it. Or you may not. You may not remember that the laser eye is there. I know that Cyrus does.
Raiken's gonna follow anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be behind. Well, recognizes his apparently super shiny armor, so I'm just gonna hide behind him and put Laramentis in front of me.
Okay.
Behind Raiken.
Then I need Leah, Yukikaze, and Jebel to each make one more dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm terrible at these now.
Okay,
With Raiken
be nice to
bonus.
me.
With Raiken's bonus. As everybody just barrels through the door.
You piece of shit, die.
11.
13.
Okay. All three of you, as you pass through the door with that disintegrating light expanding behind you, running for the entrance, running for the way out, pass through this door, and as you do, you pass into room 3, and you recognize this as one of the first rooms you saw when you entered the dungeon. And as you see this place cleaned up by the zombies, by the mummies, you remember that there is the laser eye.
Also, one thing I want to say, I'm gonna any of the trinkets I have from the lockbox I will have dropped just because, and if any of those are the Phylactery, I'm pretty sure this magic blast will take care of that problem.
So, all three of you get shot in the back by the laser eye. Each of you please take 20 points of force damage.
Oof. Ow. Oh, that was the wrong button.
As you are struck, there seems to be a gap as each person passes in. It seems to choose one out of each group. This is wrong.
Whoops.
You said everyone takes the damage, right?
No, everybody who failed to save, which is only 3 of you.
Ah.
The laser can only shoot so fast.
Okay.
So the 3 of you take the force damage, and you continue running. Does anyone fall?
Please say so now, because this is my only chance to do something about it.
I didn't fall.
I don't know, did I?
Do you have more than 0
much health do you
HP?
have?
More than what?
Oh.
0.
I definitely don't.
More than 0. Do you have more than 0 HP?
Oh, HP. Oh, that, you mean that kind of fall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it meant like trip, because we're still running.
I mean, you could always choose to if you think that's cinematically fun,
Yeah.
but I'm
No,
not requiring
yeah, no.
it.
I'm not fallen now. I'm not even blooded. It's fine.
Okay. Then you barrel onward, the light still expanding behind you. Up the staircase. You're tired by this point. You finally make it back to room 1.
It's fine, Cyrus
where
has
there
us
is
locked
no
in.
Kubriel.
This is when I should have decided to take the escalator.
And
Stand there like, come on, come on.
Silly Kubriel, you're not there anymore because you got trampled by a boulder.
Can I try and
Poker.
smash
There's a
through
rock.
the door?
Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, I believe so. What is the, you've got, like, your level in hours that you can stay in that form, right? Something like that, half your level?
My level.
Half your level in
So,
hours?
like,
So, yeah,
5
absolutely.
hours.
You run up to the wall of stone, which is 1 inch thick, and throw a punch,
I'm gonna
roll
cast
damage.
haste on Jibble so he can make more attacks.
Roll damage 4 times. As you raise your fist to swing and begin driving it toward the door, suddenly it rockets ahead of you faster than your mic can catch up, and you follow it up with 3 more punches. You go, wow, I'm fast!
I will help by Eldritch blasting the door.
Okay.
I like the stone wall. I mean.
Yeah.
Second out. That's 9.
I extend my
Plus-
arms in like a Kamehameha thing when you start casting Eldritch Blast.
That's 28
20
for the first one.
Alright. Keep going.
Yeah.
Your fist plows into the door, and it cracks, and an entire segment falls off, exposing night sky.
Yeah, my Eldritch blasts hits were 10 and 19.
And then 32 for the second.
Okay. You throw another punch, and an entire segment falls away again, crumbling into an explosion of powder that rains down in front of you. You hear the thump, thump, thump of the chunks of it hitting sand.
That's 18 for the third.
Alright. Again, another chunk of the wall is gone, and you see these missiles of force streak past your shoulder and disintegrate, dislodge smaller chunks of stone. They rain out the portal.
And 28 again.
Alright. You clear away the last of it, leaving a perfectly square hole once more. And you look down and you can see that the sand exists about 5 feet below the door in which you're standing. The wall of this place more exposed to the open air than it's been before.
How big is the hole that I...
It doesn't matter. It's for you at least, because it's
20 feet
unwatched.
tall and 20 feet wide. It was a perfectly square door.
No, but I mean, like, did I get rid of all of the...
Yeah. Yeah, you dealt enough damage to destroy the entire 1 inch thick wall, which is not that much.
It's not an inch. It's a foot thick, but...
A foot thick. Oh. Excuse me. Yeah, you do manage to destroy enough of it to get your body and the cart through.
And the Anolians?
Yes.
Good.
And as you finish clearing away this stone, you see the light climbing the stairs to the north.
Well, I'm dashing past them.
Oh, you're
I'm
not...
gonna...
Not understand.
Can I go back and grab the 2 Anolians and just start pulling them towards the...
Yeah, you can.
And I'd be pulling the cart at the same time.
Yeah.
Would I?
You the lashings that held them to the scenery here so they couldn't get away snap as you just grab the 2 lizards. They writhe in your hands as lizards are wont to do, their tails whipping around. One of them, their tail falls off. And you just sort of drag them. You back out the door, dragging them. Is there anybody getting in the cart?
I'm faster on my feet, so I'm just gonna run.
Okay. You dive out. You run for the door, and then immediately realize that there's no ground beneath you, and you fall 5 feet onto the sand. You eat a mouthful of sand, and then get back. Get up. You can now see the star-filled sky above you is a pale blue. Almost as of early evening, and you notice it's growing brighter, like it's becoming dawn, but usually that's a more magenta hue. And as you turn to look back, you can see this growing dome of light extending above the entryway that you burst forth from. Jebel drags the Enolians and the rest of the party out through the door and out onto the sand just as this orb of white light extends out, completely engulfing the stone structure. It rolls and crawls to about 20 feet out from the building. You're pushing yourselves back through the sand, you know, as it slides beneath you. And then the light fades. And there is a deep, perfectly round, hemispherical crater in the sand. And you can hear the shifting hiss as sand fills it in.
Well, so much for the historical importance.
Imagine all the shit we missed in there. The dude, the ooze dude, he's probably dead. He's probably
Oh yeah,
dead.
he's super dead.
He's probably
Oh
dead.
no, I forgot about him.
I didn't. I'm a bit.
He tried to melt me.
Was that an
Destroyed
airplane?
my
Yeah, he
ship.
tried to kill us. Tried to feed us to those things. I'm not terribly.
Thank you,
Okay,
Pink,
well,
yes.
time to leave.
We got the cart,
Like-
yeah? The cart is safely guarded away from the...
It looks a bit rough from where it was pulled down the 5 feet, but it's workable.
Okay, I'm going to crawl inside it and put everything in that is in the chest back in my bag of holding.
Okay, you find that
Does
the
that just
chest is on
remember?
its side and its contents are somewhat spilled out.
Oh man.
But wasn't it have been locked, so shouldn't it still be shut? Or would the lock have busted?
I'm gonna go with that one.
Well, I'm gonna try and mend what I can of carts and locks and things.
Yeah, before I put things in the bag of holding though, I'm gonna make sure to put away a lot of the gold. I'm making sure not to overrun
Overfill.
my bag. Yeah, overfill my bag. I'm being very careful about that.
Okay. I'm just trying to see if there is a song I can add. Maybe. I just keep hoping that I'll be able to add something and have it work. I just can't believe that every bot is failing tonight.
I'll be right back.
Unbelievable. Anything? No. Because my frame boat was set to like 132, so that would have deafened me. So nobody hears anything, right?
Correct.
Alright, let's try this one. Nope.
We never found my room. I'm sad.
Hmm?
We never found my room.
Where you died?
Oh. This is why it happened. The
Why?
Great Bot Apocalypse. It appears that YouTube has started blocking any Discord music bot of moderate size. They're aggressively limiting how many requests we can send to their servers. The wider Discord bot community is currently trying to develop workarounds against the problem. In the meantime, you'll be able to use this. The patron version is only able to play from YouTube because it's a very small bot. While we would love to provide music from YouTube for free, that is currently not possible. Other sources of music such as SoundCloud and Bandcamp are unaffected. So it's YouTube doing it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's actually not surprising at all.
Well, mark another apocalypse for YouTube.
Sam, wouldn't that be, limiting or throttling access? Wouldn't that fall under that net neutrality thing that recently got shut down?
No, they're just... what they're doing is they're just rate limiting API calls, probably. Which is something that it is very reasonable to do.
I see. Well, there you have it.
Because, like, you can only serve so much at once, and so, like, well, if you try and hit us, 10,000 times in an hour, we're going to be like, that's too much, dial it back. Which is probably just what they're doing. I don't know how the bots are working.
Well, I got good news and I got bad news. I'm out of magic.
What's the bad news?
I'm out of magic.
So both news is that you're out of magic?
Yep. Well, actually, the good news is the storm can't take it from me, and my artifact is now
That's
viable.
if the storm is gone.
Hopefully the storm is gone. It appears whatever was at the epicenter is, gone.
Well, we still don't know for sure that actually created it. That's just our theory.
But whatever was at the epicenter, and not what was created it.
Did you miss anything?
You got out. No, you didn't miss anything. In any event, so, you are now out on the quiet dunes at night. This brilliant ball of silver light has just engulfed this beneath the sand vault that you spent the last 2 days inside of, and vanished with it, leaving behind this semicircular crater. Across the crater, you can see the orangey red light of a campfire. Seems to be maybe half a mile away because of the size of this place.
Then let's go to the campfire. I only have like half a shirt, so this is very cold.
That's possibly our Tabaxi friend, or guys that met us earlier.
Laraminder starts singing, "Oh we mow it, oh we mow it, oh we mow it." Only that bit, just on loop. It gets very annoying very quickly.
You begin making your way circuitously around this sandy crater. You can hear this constant hiss as sand is falling into the crater and shifting, and you feel like you need to stay a bit away from it. Within seconds of the dissipation of this orb and you noticing this campfire, you begin walking. There is another thump, like a sonic boom, and you feel the ripple of sound as it passes across you. And for a moment, the hiss of sand increases as there's a greater shifting. The otherwise silence of the night sky is broken as a flash of light appears above, accompanied by the crack of sound. And after a moment, you hear, "Bugger!"
What?
You see a humanoid form falling from the sky.
Does it happen to look like our old friend the Sludge?
It doesn't. Because when he was in humanoid form, he was a halfling. This is considerably larger.
Like a giant?
2 halflings.
It's at least 2 halflings.
He was a gnome before, not a halfling.
Oh, he was a gnome? You're right. Gnome,
Yeah.
thank you. He's at least 2 gnomes.
Maybe a gnome and a halfling.
I have a question before we...
That's what I mean.
The Earth Elemental's ability to glide, does that go through sand as well?
I don't see why it wouldn't. I believe it's any type of unworked earth and stone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be stone, natural stone, like in a mountain, dirt, sand, mud, any of those things. Anything that's considered naturally unworked earth. No. You look up and you see this humanoid falling through the air, tumbling. Above him you can see that against the night sky, he has a light-colored cloak that is fluttering over his head, and there seems to be a strange golden light that's spiraling around him, following him down.
Well, if I had the ability to fly, I could save him.
I throw Raiken's boot.
Where did you get that?
Because
I took it.
Oh, that's right. You took it when he stripped it off.
Nobody took it away from me. I throw it at the guy.
You do.
In the guy's direction.
Okay, you throw it in the guy's direction. You see this leather boot. Actually, I guess it would just be the Sabaton. So you see this metal plating in the shape of a boot go flying into the air and sort of disappear momentarily against the darkening night sky. And then you see it reappear momentarily again against the sand as it falls toward the crater. And then you hear a thump. And nothing else. The humanoid continues falling. And just as he's about to perhaps splat or perhaps bury himself in the sand, since he appeared to be falling from at least as far up as you were just planning to travel, about a half a mile, he rights himself in the air, and you see brilliant silver wings extend out from his ankles and beat against the ground twice, displacing a ring of sand around him before he touches down gently with one toe and then the other, followed by his heels.
The heck?
He has landed about 50 feet away from you.
His feet got wings.
The wings abruptly disappear.
Are there any Red Bull cans around him?
Jebel is going to just sink into the sand.
Okay. The golem disappears into the sand. You can see...
I kind of want to talk to this person.
You can see him brushing himself off in the distance. You also see that strange golden light that was fluttering around him has come to rest near his head.
So it's like a halo?
It seems
Does
to
it
be
resemble ash?
Potentially, it could be ash. Like ash. I wish I had music.
Hey, you with the fancy armor. How about we go talk to this guy? Might be an angel or something, so I want someone who can speak Celestial.
An angel of Cord?
I mean, I'd expect an angel of Cord to have more grace, but there's no telling.
I moved to step off the
Bugger Celestial?
Whatever word, the cart. That's the word I was looking for.
You step off the cart?
I very obviously moved to. I don't know if anyone's going to stop me.
Okay.
But I'm going to try.
Okay.
Because I keep an eye on him.
Well, Cyrus wants to. Raiken will join him and head towards the angel person.
If they're in the pit, I'm just gonna have to call out to them because I don't want to go down there and risk getting stuck.
No, he seemed to fall, a ways out from the pit, about 50 feet away from you. So he's not terribly far away, even. I'm
going to follow
from underground.
Cyrus and Raiken from underground.
Okay, you can do that.
Dun, 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 dun.
As you approach, I don't think anybody grabbed Laramandus. So Laramandus, where are you going?
Oh no!
I had asked you guys to do that, but apparently he went AFK.
He did. So he didn't grab him.
See.
Vendor, keep an eye on Laramandus.
I haven't even noticed this. I mean,
I start
I'm
heading
still...
west.
Oh, wait,
know.
it's outside now. Never mind, I do notice it.
The group was heading north, so you begin heading west.
I go grab him.
I mean, you're kind of distracted by what's going on here.
Well, then if I don't see him, then I guess I don't. But if I do, then I'll go grab him.
I guess roll stealth, Laramentus.
Oh, great.
No.
He's gonna beat me.
He's still in my
That would be extremely impressive if I did.
Laramentus is still kind of in my care because I was running with him.
Well,
Well,
you
I got a
AFK'd
5
when
on
I
my
asked.
stealth.
it's alright.
You got a what?
I got a 5.
Okay.
So, am I going by my passive or my passive at disadvantage?
Just passive. But whatever. Yukikaze will be able to respond as he gets out of the cart to your shout over your shoulder. As he shouts to you to watch Laramentus. You go, yeah, and then you notice that Laramentus is gone. You look out, and he's like a few feet away from the wagon, tottering off to the west.
I slap a bit because it's sand.
Fall, skin your knee, cry.
How can you skin your knee on sand?
It's the
Yeah, if there's a way, Laramentus will find it.
Oh no, you can. You get moving quick enough, you probably could.
Yeah, but he's tottering, not sprinting.
Alright, I guess I'll come to you.
What do you mean? Raiken was heading towards him.
Yeah, we were both heading to that guy's way. Position.
I mean, you're either heading toward him or you're having a conversation about Laramentus. It's not both.
That was out of character.
Let's not do that. I can't have that. I can't keep track of that. Stay in character. We're in scene. You begin to you approach the person who fell from the sky. As you do so, you find that they are a recognizable shape of humanoid. They have pale skin. They have long golden hair that flows down their back. And it seems to catch the moon's light no matter where they turn, so it almost seems to glow. And they are wearing this multicolor cloak over their clothing that seems to go from like a midnight purple down to a bright teal, scrolling through the colors as a gradient. And as he turns to look at you, you see that his eyes shone solid green, much like Nalia's. And you are aware that he is an elf, and his solid green eyes are your tip that he is an Eladrin.
Who are you?
He seems to look you up and down as you come to a stop facing each other. He says, "Oh, thank the gods! I finally landed in a high magic world."
Again, who are you?
Continue talking. What do you mind landed? Explain. Who are you? How are you here?
Yes, excuse me. You may call me Naravar Elisil. And I come from a world much like yours, though not the same place. And I'm looking for someone. However, my search has taken me through a great many different worlds, all of different means, let's say. And most of them are not as flush with magical power as where I came from, which makes it very difficult to work. So, I am so very happy to see by your adornment that this is likely another high magic world, as you have recently acquired many fantastical magical items on your questing.
Alright, I'm gonna just go ahead and burst your bubble. We're the exception to the rule.
Pardon?
The amount of magic here is very out of the ordinary.
That's the magic in the world.
Is Vendar on the cart or up with you guys?
He never said he came with us, so nobody heard that. he didn't even know.
Thought I was with you.
Are you with them?
I never heard you say if you came with us, so...
You wouldn't notice if he did.
This is
I
true.
know other way, so. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't
So
notice.
it's very unexpectedly, Vendar's voice exudes from next to you, Raiken.
Holy shit!
So... This is not a high magic world, and you aren't going to be able to help me, is what you're telling me.
The first one, no. Second one, maybe?
I mean, we're a high magic group.
There is magic, but not like a lot. Depends what you need.
Just explain what you need and we'll see what we can do.
I'm gonna say Jibbal's elemental head just pops up out of the ground, goes like,
Hi, I'm Dibble.
Well, I've just tumbled out of God's anus and landed in a sand pit, so I'm hoping that perhaps you can tell me where the nearest capital city is? Perhaps teleport me there?
Is there a place actually called God's Anus?
Doesn't sound very nice.
I'll tell him where the nearest capital city is, or at least, and where the city we came from is. I think that might be better suited to his purposes.
And how far away are they?
I'll give him the best measurement I can, which isn't going to be super precise.
That's not exactly walking distance.
Not
so
exactly, but we're
you teleported here, right?
No.
We took our cart. There wasn't a way to teleport here.
Those cities possess teleportation circles?
Some of them do, most highly guarded.
But doesn't they only connect to other teleportation circles?
Well, they connect to wherever you cast the spell, teleportation circle.
Indeed. And you're a wizard?
Sorcerer.
Oh.
Warlock.
I'm a druid.
Did Leah get out of the cart and come over?
I wasn't in the cart. Remember the thing had fallen over? Oh no, we fallen over inside the cart?
Yeah, I fell over inside the cart.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I come out of the cart now because I'm done. I also managed to not remove any gold coins and still not overdo it.
Okay.
So it's fine.
You're telling me that you are holding the lion's share of your world's magical artifacts, and also a group comprised of a warlock and a sorcerer, and you, I assume, are a paladin, given that you're wearing magic armor, of Cord, no less.
Correct.
There's also a druid and a wizard.
I point out that I said that Jibbal's head is just kind of just like poking out of the ground now.
Yeah, you do. Well, you can't. His eyes are solid. He doesn't have pupils, so you can't really tell where he's looking.
You know, when it's stated out like this, Venda really is the odd one out, isn't he?
You said you have a druid.
He's the one down there.
Okay. I was a bit worried that you'd managed to piss off an earth elemental. They're really quite nasty.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, they kind of are.
In any event,
They are.
You said your group has a wizard.
He's currently a little
so
afflicted.
he can teleport us, of course.
No, he's
Not right now.
incapacitated.
No, maybe tomorrow.
Ran into a bit of a problem with a lich and feeble mind, if you're familiar.
Or two.
Yeah, that's part of what made the giant crater fell out of the sky next to.
But if you're from a high magic world, does that mean that you're magical?
At this point, you're going to notice that part of his golden hair suddenly breaks away from his head, and you can see two large black eyes on a yellow head peeking out from behind him on an elongated neck, and a beak suddenly splits in a large grin in front of at the front of the head, and says, "Cal is very magical."
Oh,
what
God.
the heck is that thing?
What the hell?
Right. Sorry, Cal. This is my traveling companion. He's, unique to my world. Creature called a saurian. Well, no. He's a type of dinosaur. Called a quetzal.
Oh,
what's a dinosaur?
right.
Jebel's going to pop completely out of the ground and revert to gnome form.
Ah, your druid is a gnome. Yes, so, dinosaur, it's a broad range of creatures, usually reptilian, sometimes avian, like my friend here. Kaz special. He's much more intelligent than the average dinosaur, and he can speak, and he can see magic. So, if you've
Is
got...
that normal for his species?
Indeed it is.
Can you deal with a broken wizard?
Perhaps. What's... where is he?
He should be in the cart, so long as the other is looking after him like he's supposed to.
If you can bring him here, I will go through my rituals and see what I know.
We've been informed that it would require the spell Greater Restoration, Heal, or Wish to fix him.
So not cheap. Greater Restoration.
But can we trust you?
Can I trust you?
Perhaps.
I'd say the odds are about even on both sides.
Well, I've trusted you with quite a lot. I trusted you not to simply pass out faint or laugh at me when I told you I was from another world. You took that rather well.
There's been some crazy crap the last few weeks.
I'll believe that. You told me that you fought a lich and lived to tell the tale.
Yes,
Yeah,
a matter of, what, an hour ago?
Yeah, that literally, like, it happened, like, minutes before you...
Huh.
Which is why we're skeptical. I mean...
So, those,
He's already pulled out a
wings.
very large blue tome and is flipping through the pages. He has swept his hand through the air and created a blue-green glowing orb that floats next to him to illuminate the book.
Okay, guys, gather up. I'm gonna, like, gather you in a huddle.
Okay, I will orbit the huddle.
That Garland disappears and this guy just immediately shows up. Isn't that a bit suspicious?
It's coincidental, but we still have questions to ask.
Rituals. Magic mouth.
That was like a shitload of really powerful raw magic that just exploded right there. Maybe that's what drew him.
Dead.
I wonder if it was the storms that... Did they suck all the magic out, draw it here, and then that's what just exploded?
I'm
Just
guessing
the
it's what
concentration
concentrated into more of a...
That's
you know,
Probably where it was
pound.
being gathered.
probably further back.
Anyways,
I mean, he acts a lot like Nalia. It reminds me
well,
of
they
her.
are the same race. That's going to give them some similarities. Both appear to be wizards, which will also give them similarities.
And apparently, we're just in one giant multiverse.
How do
What
you even
now?
know that word? I'm honestly surprised.
I coined it.
Is that like a combination of multiple and universe?
Okay,
Yes,
how do you
good
know
job.
universe? Which also surprises me.
I've read things.
She's
here
my
we are.
daughter. Of course
Okay.
she's smart.
Remove affliction. I think that'll do it.
Well, I suppose it could work since it's not from here, although... if anything, if you do happen to harm him in any way, it won't end well.
He raises a golden eyebrow over a deep green eye at this and smiles and says, "Oh,
That was a threat.
no, I
No.
think I picked up on that."
It wasn't
Okay.
a threat, it was a promise.
Oh, that was a promise. I'm sorry. That was my mistake.
And is this the... He actually kind of lowers the book and says, is this the first lich you fought?
Yes, I'm just saying it will end well. I don't know for which side. I have no idea how strong or weak you are. Given the fact you said the words high magic, I'm expecting strong.
Wait, how does he know that we fought a lich?
Because we just said we did.
I didn't hear us actually say that we fought a lich, sorry.
Surprised we always spill the beans.
Okay, this'll work.
So
It was our first lich.
currently underneath the cart with one hand reached out, trying to grab at Yukikaze to like have a thumb war with him.
You see him reading down his spellbook and like tracking with his finger. And he says, "Oh, you haven't got 250 gold pieces, have you?"
Why do you ask?
Well, that's the cost of the spell.
I'm gonna give him that.
You hand him a stack, a few stacks of gold pieces, 5 groups of 50. He goes, "Oh, all right then, excellent." Now, where's the patient?
He's over by the cart. Let's go.
All right. He follows you to the cart.
I expect Ash will have a lot of questions for you.
Ash, is that the name of your wizard?
The name of our wizard's Sion Stone, or however it's pronounced.
Sion? Is it like a dinosaur?
It's a magic floating rock that orbits its head.
The bird-like creature with the golden feathers pops up again. You see it's these clawed talons at the joint of its wings, kind of pressing over his scalp. He says, "That sounds like an ion stone."
That's it. I never remember the name.
But ion stones don't talk.
Well, maybe not where you're
one
from,
does.
but this one does.
A lot.
You approach the cart. The cart is illuminated by Ash, who is bobbing around Laramenda's head. And you can see immediately that the your new wizard friend is watching this with fascination. So that's the Sion.
Indeed.
Can I talk to it?
Yeah, you can talk to anything.
You might have to get the wizard in his right mind for him to give it permission to, answer your questions.
He still seems to be smiling at Jebel in this weird way. I can see that you're the humor of the group.
Huh?
Unintentional, maybe.
Very well. I guess I'll have to wait until after the ritual then. He pulls out his book once more, and he pulls out a small, leather pouch. And he says, "There is a small chance that your friend could die.
What?
It's very, very small.
Like, how small?
Like,
I'm on the right.
very nearly impossible.
I can
1%
fix that.
chance, 10% chance.
99%
0.001.
chance.
Like 1%.
I can fix
how's
that.
Revivify, looking.
I mean, I have it ready.
Alright, then I think this is acceptable.
Very well.
Thanks, guys.
I just...
Oh, no
Someone
problem.
needs to give me the 300 gold pieces.
You already have the component. We don't need to pay you.
Or no, yeah, I have the diamonds. Never mind. That's what I needed.
You don't get just request payment up front. That's not how this works.
I forgot that it was diamonds, not the
Alright.
Also, I'm gonna remind you, golden was not the problem. Before I gave this guy 250, we had 10,000.
Alright, alright,
Yeah,
alright. People, please, please. I need to be able to concentrate. Give me a moment here. He approaches Laramendus. Laramendus, you see this blonde, green-eyed Eladrin, and in the light of Ash's sphere, you can see that he has burnt orange clothing over rough leather boots, and atop that he's wearing this dark blue cloak. And you can see that there is this bird-like creature sitting on his shoulder, looking inquisitively at you.
I begin orbiting the car.
I am going to reach for Cal.
I'm watching very curiously.
You reach for Cal as he begins reading from the book and not really paying attention to what you're doing. You will notice that Cal actually extends his head towards you. What do you do as your hand reaches his head?
Boop his
Wring
nose.
his neck.
I begin like poking at it. I'm not gonna like pet Cal. I'm gonna just like push at Cal very very slowly.
Yeah. So as you do that, like he flinches back from the first one, and then like as you continue to like poke toward him, he actually intentionally seems to run his head into your hand. You do hear noises of ecstasy coming from the bird.
I want one.
The wizard finishes reading his incantation, quickly dumps the contents of his small leather satchel into his hand, and then blows them directly at Laramendus. At which point you see this silver cloud engulf him, and its glow seems to overpower the black smoke around him. It forms a ring in the air floating above him, and over the course of about a second you see this glowing ring, shrink down and form into individual arcane runes, similar to when Ash is searching his memories, and then it streams straight into the sand, creating a glowing magic circle in the ground made of arcane runes. At which point, the wizard snaps his book shut, says one more set of words while reaching out toward Laramendus, and he places his hand against Laramendus' forehead and runs his thumb across it from right to left. And then he has to roll.
Just drops dead.
Alright, that is a 21. Laramendus, you will lose HP equal to 1/4 of your maximum.
Okay.
As you feel the magic course through your body painfully, setting right what was made wrong. And you find yourself standing in the sand, howling in pain, with the leather-gloved hand of another elf pressed against your forehead. And he opens his eyes, which you see then are solid green, and he says, "Well, can you understand me?" And you find that you can.
That was more than a little uncomfortable. I'm going to sit down now. And then I fall to the sand.
I'm gonna give him a D8 from the Gnomish Rod of Healing.
How is it that you have so many disparate magic items?
Apparently it's kind of our shtick.
His cloak, your boots, that rod, his circlet.
Well, some of this was from the Lich's collection.
Ah, I see. And how long was this Lich collecting things? I assume they were collecting things since you called it a collection.
500 years, give or take?
Yeah, at least.
Your...
Shy of 500, but she hadn't been collecting these explicitly. They were here before she came. It's one of the reasons why she came here.
Of course. But what I'm hearing, and he looks down at the wizard who's still kind of
still on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground, kind of clutching himself in pain. Says, your people allowed a lich to run rampant for a half a century, for a half a millennium.
No, they didn't. Most people
no one
didn't
knew
know.
Knew they were here.
She had managed to excise information from any record that we could find, which made finding her and this place interesting.
This place, by the way, right before he showed up, it was like a temple on the ground, but it kind of exploded.
He,
wait, I'm sorry. Who are you?
He kind of looks around and then points over yonder and says, "You mean that divot in the sand? The crater?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
wow.
what?
I think there's anything there.
What did you do?
Well...
What did you do?
hey, hold on. Lemon should still have perfect memory of what happened.
Lemendis, I have something to say to you.
You notice that Raiken is wearing magnificent armor. Seemingly not of
We
this
found
world.
it. Excellent. Now,
Yes.
the other question. What did you do? Wait, is it still, did we fix the problem yet? Wait, no. What did...
Okay. So, first
Is
thing,
everything okay?
I appeared to dispel what we believe to be the Phylactery, at least a ward on it, which the temple and some of its contents did not take kindly to. And so what appeared to be columns of pure magic began, I guess for lack of a better term, exploding. And then it made the divot.
Okay. A few questions. Who is this?
His name is Norvar, I believe he said.
He fell from
He's
the
a magic
sky.
man that fell from the sky after the thing exploded.
Apparently from a different world, you said, after he fell out of... but what was it you called it?
You see him raise a gloved hand to his forehead and rub it a moment. Says, "Yes, I came from another dimension." He turns to the elf and bends down. I imagine you're still on the ground.
Yes, I have stayed on the ground.
He bends down.
I am like holding my hands together and like pointing at people as I was asking them questions.
He's the same creature as Nalia, right?
He does appear to be an Eladrin.
I am indeed an Eladrin. He extends his gloved hand to you after he crouches down before you. As he crouches down, you can see that his cloak kind of, like, expands out around him as it hits the ground and ruffles up. And you can see that there is a rather intense blue-green glow illuminating the interior of the cloak. It seems to be coming from his hip. And as he bends down and extends his hand, you see this. You do notice that there is an elegant sword hilt on his left hip, and around its blade there are intertwining vines of arcane energy. And he extends his hand in the midst of all this, seeming to pay no heed to the glowing sword on his own belt. Says, "My name is Nerva Elisil. I come from a city-state in the Feywild known as Simosenial, but I don't know that you would have heard of it."
Wait, it's Feywild.
Out of character. I don't believe I have.
No.
Right?
No. It's it's interdimensional, so it's the same Feywild, but interdimensional space is a little wibbly wobbly, so it's probably very distant.
Yeah. It's a pleasure. I am Laramentus.
And you are the wizard.
Yes.
You two look about the same age physically. Meaning you both look like you're in your 40s or 50s.
Doesn't Laramentus still have a beard?
Yes, he does.
Now then, to your other questions.
So, you said you were looking for someone for some reason. Please explain.
I don't know.
That doesn't answer what happened. What did you do? Oh, no, wait, you did answer that. What? Did I ask another question?
No.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, that is fair.
Your group said that they saw something resembling pure magic?
That is what Ash called it.
And Ash is this strange ion stone.
Yes.
Tristan, just to clarify,
Ash.
Just to clarify,
the pouches are still, hanging in my belt and not being in the bag of holding, meaning
And
if he
it's
can
still
detect magic,
me.
if he can detect magic, he likely will be able to notice it.
Yeah. He's still talking. Says, right. Ash, and the Sion perks up and says, "It's a pleasure to meet a fellow scholar of magic. You are from another dimension. I have so many questions for you." And the Eldrin seems a little taken aback, regaining his feet. And says,
I am also going to stand at this point.
"I'm certain you do. But first, I do wish to inquire. You've told me that this is a low magic world, and yet you saw pure magic?" And Ash says, "We did see some sort of array, a device of some kind that was being used to purify magic energy into a solid state." You get flashes of these images, Laramentus, as people talk about them. You know that you were there, you know that you saw it, but you had no comprehension of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind is struggling to connect, words with images to try and recreate everything that you witnessed. You are better at this than a normal person would be because of your eidetic memory, but it's still very difficult, and it's very disconcerting feeling like that you were somewhere and can't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So someone here, likely the Lich that you've told me about, has figured out how to distill magic into residuum.
If that's what you want to call it, I was leaning towards just calling it dust.
Dust, I suppose. You see his cloak part, and a gloved hand comes out and points to Leah. It says, "I imagine that's what I see glowing on your belt, young lady?"
Oh, yeah. I'm going to detach one of them and just hold on to it. I'm going to look over to Laramentus for approval if it's fine to give it to him.
I wouldn't give it to him, but maybe open it, let him look.
I mean, I'm gonna nod. I want to know what it is. If he has any idea what it is, then
then I hand it to him.
As you approach, he reaches down. He's about 6'1". So he reaches down and smilingly, gently takes it from you and says, "Thank you." And you see him produce another pouch of his own, also made of leather, in a similar fashion. And he unlaces each of them, and looks at their contents. And then he takes the two of them together, one over the other in one hand, and pours out a small stream of powder into his hand. You see two small piles form there and begin to mingle in the middle. And he holds it out to you and says, "That looks the same to you, right?"
I mean, they're both glitter, right?
He sort of shows his hand around the group. He says, "They are the same. I can see their magic. Your lich created residuum."
Alright.
What does that mean?
He, carefully puts the powder approximately equally back into the two bags, pulls them taut, and returns the one to Leah. "What it means is that you may not be a low-magic world for much longer. The secrets of residuum are the secrets to bringing magic to everyone everywhere. With residuum, pure distilled arcane energy, you can willingly enchant items to become magical.
Well, I smell a fortune to be made.
You can utilize it in place of the materials for any spell, including monetary costs."
Well, I think the secrets to it just kind of disintegrated.
Did you not find anything?
He turns around and
Other
looks
than
at
the armor?
he turns around and looks at the crater again. He turns back to you and says, "It was in there."
Well,
Yep.
wait, what happened to the tome?
We do still have the spell book. Speaking of which, I will pull the Lich's spell book out and hand it to Laramindus. I believe you'll get the best use out of this.
It's a leather-bound tome with gold filigree on the cover, which says, "Property of Minuet Kuvara. Please return to her if found."
I didn't
I
open
hope
it
that won't
just
be
in
necessary.
case.
I hope that won't be possible.
Are you going to open it?
No, don't do it.
I mean,
I can't be sure that she hasn't enchanted it to blow up in somebody else's face.
He seems to watch you interestedly as you do so. He says, "I can assure you she has.
Yeah, that is what I thought.
I cannot banish the charm that she's put on there."
Wow, you can see it that quickly?
He sort of seems to become suddenly modest and says, "Well, similar to my friend Cal, I can also naturally see magic."
Can all of your Eladrin?
By no means. No, mine is a special circumstance that comes from my connection with the Quetzal.
Huh.
Interesting. I'm going to hope. I turn to the group. I'm going to hope that the secrets for that are recorded here. But I'm not going to find out now until I can properly handle it.
It's a mental effect. He says, looking like he talks over you, still looking at your book. He says, "It's a mental effect, whatever it is.
She was an
enchantment of some
enchanter.
kind." Yes. So it won't explode.
Perhaps it would lead someone to return to the Phylactery with the book. Well, that would be a useful way to find it if it didn't end up destroyed over there.
Would you like me to take a look?
If you think you
don't
can
mind.
handle it safely.
He tugs at the wrists of his gloves, wiggles his fingers, and says, "Yes, I think I can handle magic of this level. It's only a lich."
No,
I'm gonna roll insight to see if he's bullcrapping.
Only.
Only?
I am also going to insight that.
Okay.
I roll a 1 on die.
I'm
So my passive insight is 14.
There's a passive insight.
There is a passive insight.
Then I guess my passive insight is also 9.
My insight roll is 20.
Okay. There's bravado, but it seems genuine. Backed up.
That's terrifying.
Laramundus, you actually, because of your familiarity with Nalia's mannerism when she talks about things, you recognize that particular timbre to the voice and the look in the eye when someone has dealt with a particular magic intended to do them harm so many times that it doesn't surprise them anymore. The equivalent of the arcane 1,000-yard stare.
Fun. Yeah, I hand the book towards him.
He flips open the first page. It says, alright. It seems that it begins with a journal. Just talking about her life. Boring stuff. Love. Alright. Loss. And, of course, here we are. Becoming a lich. Oh! Novel. Reasons. Of course. It's always reasons. And as he turns the page again, you see him suddenly, like, almost wince. And he looks upon it and says, Ah, I see. Oh dear. It seems you'll be safe. He closes the book suddenly and hands it back and says, it seems you'll be safe reading the journal, but the magic protecting the spells is particularly potent. I won't be able to help you with them.
The journal didn't go into this residuum.
What do you mean?
I was hoping she might have recorded some sort of formula, not as part of the spell, unless it... Is it made with a spell?
The book itself appears to be a magic item. It seems to me that the magic that protects it tricks the mind into believing that it has destroyed itself. I'm familiar with this type of thing, but I don't currently have a ritual that can undo it.
So it convinces you that you died.
What?
No, convinces...
That's what I'm hearing? That's what the spell does?
No, I can't read that book because its pages have been blanked out with ink.
Ah.
Wait, but what was all that first stuff? Was just you just making it up?
No, I've actually written the journal, or at least the important parts of the journal.
Oh,
He just didn't care.
I'm talking this. So up in everything you were able to read up until that point, and then it's blank after that.
The moment I turned past the last page of the journal, I imagine it's the spells. It seemed like the page became saturated with ink and blanked itself out, and I could not read it. And because it's a magic item, I cannot dispel the effect without disenchanting the book, which would destroy the spells inside it. It's very powerful, whatever it is. That, or it doesn't work the way things work in my world. Which would be a first. You see him pull out his own book and begin writing in it.
So, back to my questions.
I have a question! The bird screams at you. Do you have bacon?
Not here.
Where is the bacon?
Somewhere that isn't here.
Take me to the bacon.
Not right now.
He
So-
flutters from the shoulder of the mage and lands on your shoulders. He's very light. He's an impressively large bird. He's about as big as you are. And sitting on your shoulders, he towers above you and cranes his neck in front of you, so now you see his face upside down, nose to nose with you. He says, bacon.
No.
I turn to Yukikaze and say, surely the box can...
I don't think it has bacon. It's mainly sushi and other delicious things like that.
I mean, bacon is delicious.
It is.
Excuse me, but you said you were looking for someone?
He stops writing and slowly puts the book away.
And that you're in need of some form of help.
Yes, I am looking for someone who's very important to me. Somewhere in the multiverse.
Do this someone have a name?
Yes, it's my wife, Lorana. I am looking for her. But I don't imagine you do not matter. She could be anywhere in the multiverse, so I've been jumping from world to world in search of her. So I was
How big is the
hoping
multiverse?
I don't know yet, and I'm hoping I don't have to find out.
Sorry about the loss. I hope you will find her.
Indeed. But hopefully I will find her, and
Oh, that was bad.
then we can return to our universe. In any event, the help I need is to get to a capital city, so that I can begin my search. One city at a time. It is likely that she would go to a capital, as that is where the best research can be done.
I would suggest, I don't really know what city, but insert name of city with Temple of Ione here.
You mean Tuca?
Tuca. So I'll say I suggest you start with Tuca.
That is a word.
It's a city off this direction.
Is it a city?
Yes.
That has a Temple of Ione, which will have the greatest library on this continent. If they are here to do research, you'll likely find them there.
We do have a map that we can show him.
Okay,
Yes.
I look over to whichever one. I know Vendar had the map last that I remember, so
Yes, I have
I
a
look
map.
over at Vendar.
Alright.
I'll pull out the map.
You pull out the map to show him. He says, this is... As he looks at it, he says, this is your world.
Indeed.
Yes.
Are there
Indubitably.
more bodies of land masses?
So we
I
know of.
don't believe so.
It really is low magic. I'd very much hoped it wasn't. Look at yourselves. You've each got multiple magic items.
Like I said, we're the exception.
Indeed. Now
We're a
then,
high magic group in a low magic world.
I will
Red
point out where
world.
we are on the map.
okay,
I will point out Tuca.
okay.
I will mention. I'll give him a distance. This much on the map is X number of days walking at an average pace for an average person.
Okay, so
He has an idea of scale.
in a straight line, it should take about 4 days. 3 if I'm quick.
If you are interested in magic, there's the Temple of Ione here, one of the largest in the world. The university, the Magic University of Solsarakis is over here. I will point that out, which could potentially also help.
That's literally on the other side of your world.
Yes, it is.
There are teleportation circles in the Mage Towers, yeah.
It will be very difficult to convince someone to share that knowledge with anyone.
Where did you gain your arcane knowledge, wizard? Laramendus it was, right?
Yes, I studied at the university.
You wouldn't happen to know those sigils, would you?
I do.
He seems
And I
to look
believe that I could.
leadingly at you. Could you send me there? I can make it worth the trouble.
I only have the components to do it once more, and there is someone that we must meet here. I'll point out the capital Bromdor, which is the name is escaping me.
Okay.
And there's also the matter of the armor, which I suppose we need to fill Laramendus in on. It has a bit of a doom clock at the moment.
A doom clock?
Well, it seems to be counting down, and we're expecting counting down till it ceases to exist.
Really? The item can just poof?
Well, it hasn't been serving its function for, what was it, 500 years? It was theorized that if Cord's armor hadn't seen glory and battle in that long, that it might return to him, I suppose.
You better find something to kill, mate.
Indeed. No, we're not going to find it here.
Purple worm around.
Yes, where are some monsters to destroy?
So, send me to the university. I can make it worth a while. Is there anything else? I've got a couple rituals left for the day.
There's one thing I've been thinking of.
Okay, name it.
Okay, just theoretical. Say if a creature, for example, from the Feywild, for a powerful Fey spirit, were to be trapped inside an armor, would it know the right spell to release it?
As you began making your request, he knelt down in front of you and began listening intently. It says, a Fey creature was trapped inside a piece of armor, and you want it released.
Yeah, say. Yeah, they're just theoretical, from studies.
He strokes his chin, and as he does so, the bird pecks at Cyrus's nose and says, "Bacon."
Quit that! I'm going to turn you into bacon.
Bacon. That would be delicious.
Seriously, can I get this thing off me?
Yes. Yes, I think I do know a way.
You do?
Yes. Do you have this Fey and this armor with you?
Perhaps.
He smiles knowingly at you and winks one green eye at you. And as he does so, in the light of ash, you do notice this strange swirl within it, almost like a twist of wind blowing a glimmer across a field. Very well. You're sure you can trust it?
Yes.
All right then. Let's see here. You and you. He points at the two Dragonborn.
Yes.
Come here.
All right, I'm here.
What's your name?
What are we doing?
I am Raiken of House Lumos.
Why are you just agreeing to stuff, right?
Excellent. All right, I need you to, my dear,
Leah.
Leah, what's your favorite hand?
Why?
A simple question. Which one's strongest?
It's
I don't
you
like
my
where this is
right.
going.
It's the one I right with.
Okay. Raiken, it was. Please hold on to her right hand. And you, other Dragonborn?
What? Why am I doing something?
Come here, help me with something.
Get over here, Yukikaze.
I'd very much like to get to the university as quickly as possible. Stand over here.
Yeah, but I'd like to know what's going on.
I need you to take this young woman's left hand.
No, leave it on her arm.
Well, of course, leave it on her arm.
What are we doing?
Silly Jubble.
Come on, I haven't got all night. Stand over here, take her hand. What's your name?
It's Yukikaze, but I don't want to. I don't.
He wants no part in this.
Kind of.
I need two strong, strapping young lads, and the Dragonborn seem to fit the bill.
Why do they have to be strapped?
I believe that they might be more receptive if you explain a little bit more the nature of the whatever it is you're going to be doing.
Right. Sorry. Your friend, Leah, has asked me to help set free a trapped Fey spirit, and I need to pull it free from the place where it's locked away. And so I need you to hold on to her so that I can pull the spirit out.
Is this going to hurt her?
Oh, no. Not much.
Not much!
I'm tightening the grip on Raiken's arm.
I swear to God.
Look, I usually do it on trees, but I'm sure this will be fine.
I swear to Cord, if she is hurt at all during this, you will have my wrath.
Real quick.
It will
Hold
be
on.
fine.
This is something you really want to do, Leah.
Yes, I do. I promised him this.
Alright, well, I'm trusting you that you believe this is the right path. So, alright. And I'll grab her left arm.
Alright. Hold her steady, hold it tight, don't hurt her, don't squeeze too hard. But it's going to be a bit, violent. Cal, go stay with Laramendus. Leave him alone. He doesn't have any bacon. He's going to reach into his bag, and pull something out, and turn to Laramendus and toss it. Laramendus, make a reflex saving throw. A dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I get a 18.
Okay. You catch this small blackened object. It seems to be a strip of bacon.
I look at it intently, and then look over at Cal.
Who seems to have noticed it, and like a cat about to pounce, you see him, like an owl, you see him like sighting in by rotating his head around, and then he leaps forth from Cyrus' shoulders. Actually, I might have an image of this thing. Hold on. That's not what I wanted. Find a conversation.
I posted an image of it.
Oh, but I don't even remember her name. Hold on. No.
Kasui?
What? No, the username of a friend of mine who created this thing. There it is. Copy this.
Oh, to look for the picture?
Yes, I have it. And Tuesday D&D. So this, one of my other DMs created this creature, and then she drew a picture of it. This is what he looks like.
More
well, that's way less horrifying than I was thinking.
And so that leaps forth with its tail feathers trailing behind it, and you hear this noise of wind rushing oddly out from it in a way that doesn't seem quite natural. And suddenly, Laramendus, you notice that the bacon, can't talk, is gone from your hand. And
no longer have the birth bacon.
You no longer have the birth bacon. And after another moment, you suddenly feel a slight pinch on your shoulders, followed by a weight settling down, and you notice that the creature is now sitting atop your shoulders with its claws biting into you. And you can hear it munching on the bacon loudly.
Going to say, so you're also from another world?
Yes, Cal is from far away. A very extraordinary place where Cal is king. You should worship him and give him bacon.
I have no more bacon, but I would like to hear what it's like.
It has many stories. Fun stories. Scary stories. Dangerous stories.
But they're all worth bacon.
Do you want to know about the Quetzal named David?
Yes.
He begins regaling you with the tale of a Quetzal who never knew when not to poke at something.
I remember David.
In the meantime, the wizard begins preparing his spell. He pulls out his book again, reads through a few things, begins incanting, and then he pulls out another pouch of the silver powder residuum. He pours it into his hand and then casts it into the air, quickly drawing his sword, which you can now see is a elven-made longsword with a narrow blade and a very ornate finger guard. He draws it, and you can see that at the finger guard, at the cross guard, from each point, there is a burst of light, one green and one blue, and from there a stream of arcane energy is emitted and then winds itself up to the tip of the blade. And he swirls this, flourishing it through the air, and you see the cloud of dust that he cast up suddenly form up into a writhing mass. That he then swirls it around the sword around his head, and it follows, and just like before with the cloud around Laramendus, it begins to form arcane glyphs, which you notice are a mix of Draconic and Elven. Once again, the glyphs drift down to the sand around him and form a glowing circle. He takes the sword, flourishes it, and jams it into the ground. And you see this same pattern of glyphs suddenly appear on the breast of Leah's armor in smaller form. And he incants a few more times, and then you see him wink and say, "All right now, hold on." Slight pinch. And you see him reach forward toward Leah and grab air, almost like gripping a rope that isn't there.
I tighten my grip as hard as I can, but the Dragonborn won't still really notice much.
And you can see the muscles in his forearm, which are revealed under his shirt as he reaches forward, begin to tense. And then he reaches up with his other arm and grabs in front of it, again, as though gripping a rope. And he begins to strain. Come on now. Just a little more. And you, Raiken and Yukikaze, you can actually feel as Leah is pulled forward, away from you, and you have to tighten your grip to keep her steady, to keep her from being pulled toward the wizard. All right, one more good heave. He sets his feet grinding into the sand and pulls against the rope as hard as he can, this unseen magic lasso. And you see the glyphs that form a circle on the front of Leah's armor begin burning, glowing red, and the armor itself beginning to become damaged. And you see the lively green vines that are wrapped around it begin to sort of pulse and then shrivel and crumble away little by little. Almost that. And just at the moment when you're worried you're going to lose your grip on Leah as the force of the spell is pulling her away from you, there's a pop, and you find yourself tumbling over backward, and you see the wizard also tumbles backward, and a brilliant shower of green magical sparks emits from the armor and falls over the sand, momentarily illuminating the place in hues of the forest. At this point, Leah, you notice that all of the vines fall away from the armor, and what's left behind is a pattern like a rose bush with thorns just pressed into the leather. It looks like mundane armor almost. No longer enwrapped with vines. But also on the chest you can see these draconic and elven-looking arcane glyphs are burned into the leather. And as you take this in and you feel the soreness in your arms from where the Dragonborn were holding you, Yukikaze and Raiken both laying at your side, heaving from the effort, you notice that the green glow that lay over the area in the form of the sparkles is now more of a soft pulsing. And you look up, you see a green orb floating in the air before you, about 3 feet ahead, away from where you were standing before, closer to the wizard. And it seems to pulse and morph a few times. And then all of a sudden there is a shower of golden light that comes from both you and the wizard. And this golden light rains forth in these 2 rivulets that enwrap the orb as it slowly rotates and becomes a glowing orb of golden light. And then suddenly it bursts. And you see a hooved foot extend down and begin to push the sand away, sinking into the sand. And as it sinks into the sand, you see small trails of green vines extend out from it and kind of bury themselves in the sand a few inches out. And then a second hooved foot hits the sand, and again the vines trail out. And after a second, you see small bursts of flowers that pop up out of the sand and stand tall and golden for a moment before withering and dying off. And looking up, you see a almost humanoid creature. It has 2 arms and 2 legs, but it is willowy and tall and disproportionate. Arms too long, neck too long, eyes too large. And you become aware that you are looking at Fae. This is the same vein of creature as elves, but a different evolutionary path, or a different artistic path, depending on what you believe. And he stands there with skin the color of tree bark, and he seems to be clad in moss, with these hooved feet. He has 3 fingers on each hand, each all too long, and he looks at you with these hazel green and brown eyes. And for the first time, you hear his voice, and it's deep and calming. He says, "Leah, you freed me."
Sintaramel?
And he falls to his knees on the sand and cries.
I'm gonna let go of the Dragonborns and rush up to him.
Well, none of this is what I was expecting tonight. Wasn't even remotely on the docket.
I wasn't expecting everything to get vaporized.
Leah running to Sintaramel and then end session.
I mean, it does feel like a decent endpoint.
Mm-hmm. We can end there. It is late.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't expecting Norvar to just fall out of the sky.
Was that a player character from different campaign?
Yeah, it's one I've heard a lot of stories about.
It's a
Yeah.
wizard I played a long time ago.
It was when the
Yeah.
bird appeared. I was like, okay, I know.
Good job. That was a fun session. You guys
I
found.
want
You guys found the armor of Cord, and you escaped the collapsing Lich's lair.
You're welcome.
We found it for at least the next few hours.
Did you just complete 2 individual player quests?
Oh no, because you're still bound to a demon.
Yeah, that's right. Mine's kind of like halfway
You
though.
just hit the next major milestone.
Oh, we're halfway there.
Living on a prayer. Alright, well that was incredibly
prayer.
sad without music. I'm very sad that we don't have our music bots anymore. But,
Hashtag blame YouTube.
yeah.
That's going to be a problem on my Thursday campaign as well.
Yeah.
I better let Chris know.
We'll figure something out. In any event, especially
Mostly
because,
SoundCloud.
like, even if I have a way to play music that I own, most of it is licensed, so I won't be able to put it on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, you can still pull music from SoundCloud.
Yeah.
He hates SoundCloud.
I tried using SoundCloud earlier, and 9 times out of 10, I would punch in the name of the thing that I was looking for with the artist, and it'd be like, oh, here's something that matches that name and description. This what you want? And I'd be like, yeah, that looks right, and I'd play it, and it would be something totally different that somebody else recorded.
Yeah, that's SoundCloud.
Yay.
It's not a good system.
I
but
think the
it's-
one I
yeah.
sent you does Spotify.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to ask, is there a bot that can pull from Spotify?
Maybe,
'Cause
but
I think the
I need to look at the commands for it, because just typing in play for any bot automatically goes to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I need to look at what the different commands are. So we'll figure that out for next time. So everybody should take, let's go with 800 experience.
That brings me to level 11.
woo.
Still just
I'm
shy
still
of
a
it.
couple thousand short.
I'm 195.
I am 500.
Soon, soon, soon.
Maybe I'm off? Oh no, he's been doing entries there.
Write you some journal entries. Alright, so you found the armor of Cord, and you freed Zintharamel from the armor.
I met Narvar, which was a complete surprise.
And now I get to send him away tomorrow.
Not
Because I
a
can't
bad
do
one, mind
anything
you.
today.
Raiken Best Magical Girl changed my mind.
Yes, you have a small problem though still, because we're in the middle of a desert. There's not going to be anything to kill within those 14 hours or 13 hours.
Raiken
I
is
mean,
the ultimate magic.
does he need to? Are we sure that he needs to kill something,
We gotta
or
try
he needs to be in a
something.
good fight? Because those are 2 very different requirements.
I really don't want to fight Raiken.
I said a good fight.
Hey! Admittedly, I'm out of spells, so I'll take that.
Your
Oh,
fight
I
would
don't know
last
your
1
plan.
round, and he would probably survive your attack.
Well, attacks, it'd be like, 5.
Yeah. He's got a lot of health.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but I
don't
need the
have a lot of
crits.
health right
Don't tell him that.
now.
Let's see.
I mean, I never said I was above bloodied.
Still, definitely would have
Raiken,
been
do you
able to
think-
have the upper hand.
I mean, I still have the upper hand. He has those spells.
Hey, Raiken, do you think you can survive
Fair.
20d10 plus 15 of fire damage?
I don't know. We might just have to find out.
Because that's what you'd have to survive.
Fire damage?
Yep, cantrips.
That's assuming you roll a 4.
Yeah. So, minimum of, only 2 turns, but still, on my best day. I'm trying to, put things in the best
trying to
light.
puff yourself up? Okay. Alright, so you've got your experience. You are out of the dungeon.
Besides, I could take a hit.
We will we will pick it up again next week.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Woo!
Night.